Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever here. No, I'm running a little bit late. Normally, I like to do this a little bit early, but I had stuff to do this morning. So I figured I'd try and squeeze a Wrecking Crew podcast in. If some of the guys show up, that's cool. If not, I understand. Again, I'm all over the place with my time. But I did want to get one in today because I did want to talk about a couple of things. And so, just to really quickly let you guys know, I might have to bounce from the podcast. Just depends. I got stuff to do this afternoon. I'm just waiting for my daughter to get back, and we'll take it from there. But since I'm here, we'll get into it. We'll jump into it. And just real quick, man, thanks for all the people that joined me on last night's podcast. Again, more on the political side, what I've been doing on this channel, and but I do appreciate it. Hopefully, we'll get some people stopping in today. This is going to be the Wrecking Crew podcast, guys. This is going to be straight up video games, and not a lot of stuff going on with Xbox. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with Xbox, but nothing going on with them. You know what I'm saying? Nothing really big announced that I've seen. If I'm wrong, you guys can correct me in the comment section. Because I find it interesting that I do peruse the news daily. You guys know if you guys have Bing, you guys are gonna look at Xbox news, right? Because we're trying to get our Bing points. But I didn't say anything except the usual stuff. I think that, of course, the most important thing is the games, and Microsoft continues to impress with a lot of the lineups that they got, both coming up in March, the stuff that they already have in February, which has been amazing. But the stuff we have coming up in March, or we're in March now, but throughout the month of March, I'm pretty sure April is going to be off the hook as well. There's one thing that Xbox does really well, it's Game Pass, and the amount of games that come in, and even the games that leave, guys. If you haven't noticed, what Xbox has been doing is they've been for Game Pass is they've been bringing some of the games back. Um, One of the ones that I really like was Carrion, and so I had already bought it because I liked it so much. I played it and I just went ahead and bought it. But you see that you see them doing that now, and I see some people complaining about it. I don't understand why. Just to let you guys know, man. Now, if it's taking away from other stuff, like if the stuff that they're releasing into Game Pass starts to dwindle, and then you see just a bunch of games that are that are getting brought back in, and you're not getting anything new. And they got a lot of wiggle room for that, guys, because they got a lot of new stuff in Game Pass every single month. And the stuff that they even talk about or show is not, that's going to come to the service. But then if you guys are paying attention, you guys understand that there's more than that. In fact, again, one of the biggest problems, or to quote Sega Man, right? Sega Man says we eating good over here, but it's also one of our biggest problems for people like myself who use Game Pass all the time. In fact, my Game Pass has kind of fell off. I still go in there, check out the games, but I've been playing Avowed nonstop. I've talked about it in other videos on this channel because it's a great game, dude. But I'm gonna have to shift because my daughter wants me to play some Genshin Impact so that she can have somebody to play with. Um, so I'm gonna shift over to that, and so Avowed might get dropped off by the wayside. I'll try and play as much as possible, but again, this is a real problem, and it's a great problem to have. It's better to have more than nothing at all. Um, and that's why a lot of people are spoiled by Game Pass. There's two things when it comes to Xbox and Game Pass. One, number one, right, is that these people are just complaining because they just hate Xbox. Number two is that you're actually in the ecosystem and you realize how hard it is to keep up with everything that Xbox puts into Game Pass or releases on the console for you to purchase. There's a couple games that drop, but again, it's hard for me to justify the purchase of the game because I know I'm not going to play it, right? And I'm already at a backlog, right? Um, the Yakuza Pirates again, right? I'm gonna have to order that from Amazon. In fact, I'm going to do that today because I want to support the title, but also, you know, go to my local GameStop here and they don't have it in stock. And they're trying to encourage me to pre-order. I'm like, I don't want to pre-order, right? Because I don't know if I'm going to be able, I just want to be able to go in there like I normally do. Nothing wrong with pre-ordering. I know some people don't. I mean, I don't have a problem with pre-ordering. I just don't want to pre-order. I want to just be able to go into GameStop and just pick up the game that I want, like the good old days, right? And that's kind of what this podcast is going to be about a little bit. We'll talk about kind of the good old days, right? I'll see if anybody pops in. I'll just ramble on for a little bit. We'll go 10 minutes deep, and then I'll get some of my uh, I'll get some of the housekeeping stuff out of the way first. But again, for the channel, guys, just really brief update. I'm going to be start doing a lot more content. Um, gaming stuff as well. But again, it'll be a lot of political stuff because there's a lot of stuff going on right now, and I do want to do commentary on it. Like I said, I did a stream the other night or last night where I watched the presidential address. I couldn't watch it live, so I just rewatched it last night. Most of it I did not get to see, so it was like a first time thing for me. But I absolutely loved it. Highly suggest you check it out. There's a lot of stuff being said in there as far as the direction that this country is going in, whether good or bad, or you agree or disagree. Just saying it's better to know, right? And the reason why I bring that up is that's going to be the same case in point when it comes to gaming on this channel. I'm going to incorporate a little bit more things in there. It's ironic because we're going to talk about the console war, and I'll talk about it as far as the topic today. But moving forward in the channel, I'll only cover it when it's important to cover it. And that's what I've been kind of doing anyway, but I just wanted to let you guys know. Content for Xbox stuff on this channel, dude, it might drop a little bit. Just for the simple fact that, I mean, there's only so much times you can talk about stuff, and there's only so much things you can share. I'm pretty sure when there's an event, we'll do those. And again, if I could do gameplay capture and stuff like that, that'll probably be something I could put on my channel for Xbox. But as far as the news and things that are going on, there's nothing really that I could, I'm running out of stuff to talk about. Unless it's going to be something major, say like Microsoft buys Sega or purchases something like makes a ridiculous purchase again. Then that's something that everybody's going to be mulling over. That's stuff that we can, talk about for months, right? But you don't see any of that stuff happening. In fact, if you notice, the stuff that we've been talking about has been a little bit more on the Microsoft side, right? The actual company that owns Xbox. Hey, Daniel, welcome, dude. Just a podcast. We're just gonna cover a couple things and bounce. And then if some of the guys come in, that'd be great too, because it'd be cool if they got their perspective. Well, welcome, dude, and thanks for stopping by last night as well, dude. Appreciate it. Let me see. And look, guys, it's nothing that's bad, right? I'm just saying, right? And I'm not jumping off. Again, dude, I was feeling the need to tell you guys this, man, because I know, look, in the Xbox community, people drop off all the time, but they switch sides. That's never going to be me. But I will speak truth to power when it comes to Xbox, especially. And it's not, I shouldn't say truth to power. I'll speak my truth when it comes to Xbox, man. I'll always be 100% with you guys. But like I said, man, I'm not leaving. Let me reiterate that. I'm not leaving Xbox, guys. I can't leave Xbox. I mean, you guys know I don't like PlayStation. And PlayStation really doesn't have anything for me, if I'm being 100% honest, right? So that's never going to happen. And I'm always going to be here. So, I'm not going anywhere. Just because I have a difference of opinion with what Xbox and Microsoft is doing, that doesn't mean that I'm going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. All right? So please don't worry. Right? When I say the things that I say, I'm just doing it because I got to be honest, man. You guys know how I feel about the games going over to PlayStation. Still don't like it. I never will. I never will like it. Even if I understand what Microsoft is doing, I hear Phil with what he's saying, but at the end of the day, I'm never gonna like that. That's just me being honest. I'm old school. Maybe I'm a little too old school, right? But with that one thing that I don't like, right? The balance is from other things that they do, right? The balance comes from all the other stuff that they do that they're killing it on. All right, guys, hold on one second. I'm shooting on invitations. I just got back and I have to clean the downstairs. I have to clean downstairs. Dude, what's going on? Man, this thing is not cooperating with me, man. Sorry, guys. I had to clean the downstairs. It was all messy, dude. And then once I started cleaning, I realized how bad it was. In fact, I just cleaned up what I needed to. The really bad stuff, but there's other stuff I need to do. But I wanted to get this podcast out there. All right, dude. Looks like we're good. What's the time on this, man? March. What is today? Anyway, let me do this. Okay. In case anybody wants to jump in. Oh my gosh, dude, this is crazy. Oh, there it is. Hold on. Are we? Yep, we're live. Okay. Dude, let me shut this down because I don't want to be like on the wrong page like I normally do, man. I'm old now, so I don't have that same. Oh, even though I did take my protein slash caffeine morning morning energy booster. All right, man, we're good. We're good. Yeah. So, man, moving forward again, the Xbox. I guess at the end of the day, my point being is that Xbox is killing it where it needs to kill it. Should do I would I do I wish they would speak out a little bit more? Right? There's an article we're gonna look at really quickly that showcases again what the narrative is that Xbox is, and it's not a narrative that Xbox talks about, right? Or they talk around it, which I'll be honest with you, kind of irritates me, right? And it's what's happening is that since they're not addressing it, people are filling in the boxes for them, and it's all speculation at the end of the day, which I can't stand. I mean, I don't mind like the fandom stuff, guys. That's what we do, right? That's that part. But I'm talking about the media. Of course, you guys know how I can't stand the media, right? And they just keep on running with it, man. And Microsoft doesn't stop it, and Xbox doesn't address it. Or if they address it, they talk around it, and I can't deal with that, man. I refuse to deal with that anymore. Right? Again, like I told you guys 100 million times, right? If they don't address the problem, why should I care? The only reason I care about stuff that if it can affect me directly, right? And by directly, I mean the games that we play, the games that I buy, the console that I purchased, right? Again, I'm a console gamer first and foremost, right? And their ecosystem that I participate in. Yeah. It's just like anything else. If like you get Disney Plus, like I had Disney Plus, I enjoyed all the old content and I was liking some of the new content. But at the end of the day, man, the stuff that they started producing, man, I didn't care for it all, right? And then just to let you guys know, a lot of their stuff, their Disney stuff, I already have, so I can just pop it in my machine and watch it, or I can just watch it on digital, right? Because I go that extra effort, right? When it comes to the way I consume my product, especially on the Disney side, because I am a Disney fan. I was a Disney fan way before they got Star Wars and Marvel. Them getting Star Wars and Marvel was like the cherry on top of the sundae. They were supposed to be, but they've jacked that all up. So, you know. And again, if you guys like it, you guys can watch. You guys can watch it. If you participated, you guys can. Right? But it's hard for me to do so, man, because they can be so much better. Number one, and number two, they chose to shoot themselves in the foot, and I'm not going to be a party to that, right? So I've stepped away from all of that, right? With Microsoft, it's not even in that same level. I have issues with what they're doing, but at the end of the day, again, the positive far outweighs the negative, and that's why I'm still in the Xbox community. I still play my Xbox. I've been playing. The funny thing is, and shout out again to Unlimited Productions. I'm actually playing my Xbox more because I'm doing less on this channel. That's why I've been doing other stuff on the channel because there's really not much I can talk about when it comes to Xbox. I don't want to keep on just sitting here repeating myself. I'm kind of repeating myself now about some of the stuff that the content that I already talk about on this channel. I'm kind of rehashing it right now, but that's just to give you guys a fuller picture, right? I know, look, dude, I know I worry some of you dudes when I started talking the way I did, but it's nothing negative. It's just me being honest. What's up, Toe Man, brother? What's up? Dude, did you play Avowed too, man? I've been playing that game nonstop, dude. It was way. And I'm not saying I thought. Okay, let me clear this up. I didn't say I thought Avowed was gonna be bad. There just wasn't on my games that I was looking forward to the most. Of course, it's an Xbox game. Of course, I'm gonna play it. Even with some of the stuff that came out about it, even some of the stuff that happened behind the scenes, with the controversies that happened, right? And you guys know how I lean politically. I pretty much made my opinions known, how I feel about certain subjects and topics, right? I've been 100 with you guys on that. But even though, man, I own an Xbox, I'm in the ecosystem, Game Pass, right? And then also, if I'm going to talk about this kind of stuff, dude, I got to be honest, man. Like, how can you trust my opinion if I don't play it? Right? If I'm going to have an opinion that's strong on something when it pertains to Xbox, right? Then I have to play the game. That's why I don't talk about certain things on my channel, man, because I'm disconnected. Like I talk around things or what's on the news, that's fine. I have no problem doing that, right? But at the end of the day, I won't talk in depth about things if I don't actually participate on it. Or when I talk about something in depth from my viewpoint, and I'll let you guys know that's my opinion, and you guys can choose to agree with me or not, or watch it or not. Two Man says no, I haven't played Avowed yet. You know, brother, man, it's a good game. It's probably one of the. It's kind of a throwback to the older RPGs. It's interesting because it's first person perspective, but you can do third person perspective. And the only way I knew that the only way I figured that out is I was doing something. I accidentally pressed what do you call that, dude? The thumbstick, and then it switched views. And I thought that was cool because there's this one part of the game where I needed to drop down and grab a chest, and so changing it into third person was actually better for me. I could aim better because I dropped down, I kept on falling in the water. And that's another great thing about Avowed, man. I mean, you lose a lot of time. Any game where you lose track of time is a good game. And it's interesting. I like the story. I like the characters. The only problem I have with the game, well, there's two things that I don't like about the game. Right, one of them is um, the art itself. And look, dude, I'm not trying to hate on the artist, dude. I'm just being honest. Right, the art design on some of the characters just looks weird to me. Um, Not that it takes away from the game, right? But it just stands out to me, right? So it's not a game breaker. The other thing is some of the content that's in there, right? They actually do go because now I have time to play the game, and it's the messed up thing, right? Because it's one of the side characters. He has a relationship with somebody in the game, and it appears that that dude's a guy too. So they have that going on, and I like that dude Kai. He's one of my favorite side characters. And to progress the story, man, they'll talk about it. It's not bashing you over the head, but you guys, I'm just being 100 with you. You guys know how I feel about that stuff. Dude, I don't like it, right? And so I've had to play through that. But then the other thing about it kind of forced me to use my other characters because you have to, right? But overall, the game in and of itself, with a couple of hiccups that I've had, which is very few, but the one with Kai is probably the biggest one. Um, and I'm still gonna go play the game. I still follow through and play it, man, to let you guys know. But everything else, man, I love the combat system. I love the control. Uh, I'm happy I can play it because some of the other games I can't play because it's just something about the camera, the way they do their camera. But I had no problems in this one. Like the lands, I 100% agree with everybody. When you look at the actual landscapes and the world that they built around it, man, it's beautiful. Right? It's just that some of the characters just they're a little bit too weird for me. Because again, I've been doing this for so long, guys, and I understand this about myself. That's why I know I'm a little bit jaded, and I try and keep an open mind. But I've been in science fiction, fantasy, and just regular fantasy for so long. I see things all the time. It's hard, I have to push through, right? Like when I'm looking at the design of some of the characters, why do they look like that? What's the purpose of this? Right? I come from a time where, and if you read a lot of different books, especially back in the day, these writers would go to the painstaking uh, chore of actually describing things in detail, right? And to give you an idea so you can visualize it. When you play in a medium like gaming, it doesn't have to be. Uh, I wish it was a little bit, but then again, it is a video game, so a lot of people won't probably pay attention to that stuff. I do like the world building they have in there. I like the books that they have in there. I didn't have a chance to read every single one because I'm trying to progress. But this is one of the games I will say about. I'll probably constantly play it, right? Because you have different classes. I'm actually, and I think that's what they did on purpose for the replay value, which is not bad. I think it's actually pretty smart. Like I'm playing a battle mage right now. The next one I'll probably play is just a straight up ranger, um, and I'll probably use a lot more weaponry that's distancing. Of course, it would be for a ranger, but I already because I played it through with the battle mage. I actually wish I would have played as a warrior first, right? So I could get the feel of the game because warriors are kind of. I could have made them a little bit more generic, and some of the weapons that I got in the beginning fit a warrior better. That's why I call myself a battle mage because I'm using like an axe. I prefer to use something like a little bit less battle centric, right? So, but other than that, it's awesome, dude. I mean, I got a grimoire. I'm unlocking stuff, dude. Some of the spells are kind of cool. Some of the effects on the spells are amazing. It's a really cool game. It's a really cool game. And I think it bodes well for Microsoft Game Studios and what they're doing. Again, it helps that you have a lot of money, like Microsoft does. Even though, man, this economy, dude, this economy is going to be testing us for a little bit, but we'll see how everything goes. Uh, yeah, that's cool too, man, dude. If you had a chance to play, I recommend you do. Right. If there's some story stuff like you don't like, I can't say you can kind of gloss over it, right? Or just go another path with the story stuff, right? Or just choose another character if it bothers you that much. I'm not saying you, but that's what I learned from the first time playing it. and I took a note of that. And when I play through it again, I'll definitely avoid certain things. So let's see. All right, guys, we'll move forward, man, and we'll catch the dudes up if anybody jumps in later. Strategy for ah. Sorry. Hold on. Okay, dude, I almost closed the podcast. See, this is what again. I throw a lot of respect to people that do this stuff and are able to multitask on this level. I almost shut down the podcast by mistake. All right, guys. So the overall thing about this podcast, right, is we talk about Xbox specifically, but I will do a little bit of Sega stuff, and I'll tie it up into Xbox, right, because I think it's just a generational shift. And one of my favorite uh, former CEOs, he was with Sega, and then eventually he went with Xbox. Is Peter Moore. We've talked about him quite a bit on this podcast, and he actually had an interview which I thought was interesting. I didn't watch the interview. I might go check it out, dude. I'll just be honest with you. I don't like the guys that do the interview. All right, there's one particular guy that's in the interview that I don't like. But I might have to bite the bullet on that one just because it's Peter Moore. You guys know I'm a big Sega fan. And during Peter Moore's rule at both Sega and even Xbox, that's kind of what transitioned me to Xbox as well, right? Because I actually loved Halo when I first played it, and the online component, um, Fable, of course. There's a lot of stuff that Xbox did in the early OG Xbox days that made me a fan, right? And it also didn't hurt that when I came over to the Xbox, Peter Moore was there, and he was going full ham when it came to Xbox back in the day, and he kind of talks about it in this interview. Let me bring up the article really quickly. I'm not going to read the article, guys, but I do want to share this. I'll blow it up for you guys so you can see it better. But as you see here, Xbox. And it's just Push Square, guys. I know what Push Square is, but this is probably one of the most briefest article that they did on it. So that's why I'm using this. And I didn't get as much pop-ups on this one. I'm not saying we won't, but anyway. But Xbox boss says console war has lost its feistiness as Microsoft goes multi-platform. Again, Microsoft goes multi-platform. Microsoft has not come out and said they're going multi-platform. Xbox and Phil Spencer don't say they're going multi-platform. The reason is that they do put their games in other places, right? But the way this is written, and again, this is just part of the media, right? It's with the intent of saying that Microsoft won't be making any consoles, okay? And that's why I always say that, dude. Don't listen to these dudes, right? For a lot of these guys, that's why that's another reason why I use these guys' articles. This is what they hope for, that Microsoft will go multi-platform. Because at the end of the day, dude, most PlayStation guys, especially the ponies, all they want to do is just whatever system or company is not Sony, they just want to destroy it. And they've been like that for decades. It's amazing. They're still like that to this day. And it's actually hurting them, right? Overall. Um, but since I don't really care about Xbox, and since I don't really care about PlayStation, and if they went away, it wouldn't bother me a bit. But again, I just want to point that out. It's not going multi-platform in the way that the gaming media covers it. When they say multi-platform, it means no hardware, right? And the day that Microsoft goes no hardware, there might be a day where that happens. But the day that they go no hardware, other people will do the same thing, right? It'll be an industry shift. They might be the first one to do it, right? They might be the first one to do it. But again, just keep in mind, because you guys are on the Xbox side, Microsoft makes a lot of money off of the hardware. Not the hardware, the hardware per se, but the people that participate in the ecosystem through the hardware. It's just like now that everybody's pushing the PC and people doing it through PC, right? Console's already there, right? So why would you get rid of console, right? The way Microsoft is looking at everything, they want to be everywhere. They want to get as much money as possible, much engagement as possible, right? Again, my personal feelings aside, we're just talking about it on that level. Right. But I mean, the one thing that I liked about this article, and I'm just talking about the article, like again, I didn't listen to the interview, right? Is that Peter Moore actually acknowledged the console wars, right? And again, I've talked about it on this channel, and I've talked about it a lot, guys. Oh, sorry. Only 64. Can you go over the new 360 soft mod called the Brad update exploit? It took only 20 years, but it's here. Oh, dude, I don't need. Hey, Oni, man. Number one, thanks for being here, bro. I didn't even know what this was a thing. Can you go over the new 360 soft mod called the bad update exploit? Dude, you know more than me, bro. I'm sorry, I didn't know. Is that allowing people to play old 360 games? Is that what you're saying? My bad, dude. I don't know. I don't know. But hey, man, put it in the chat, dude. I'd like to know more myself. Whatever you know. If one of the guys was in the, they might have heard of it. Probably he bought knows. I've like, and again, guys, I've sent all the invitations out. Hopefully, they can join us, bro. But it allows homebrew on the 360. Oh, dude, I did not know that. Dude, my 360 died a couple years ago, which sucks because I actually had put in a. I had it for a long time, but that's the one that I put in my. I had a 1 terabyte hard drive in it. I actually love that. I actually love the 360. And then once everything like where I live now and stuff like that, dude, I can't collect like I used to. Basically, no JTAG or RGH. Dude, that's outside of my lingo, bro, or outside of my expertise. You know, it's funny. I know Hebot talks about this because he wants to see that. I have three 360 fats that got the RRODO, and one slim red ring of death, and one slim. I need to see if it still works. Yeah, dude, I had mine. I just had one that I had a problem with. The interesting thing about the red ring of death, it actually made me a bigger fan of Xbox. Not because I got the red ring of death, but the actual the support and the customer service I got from Microsoft. Right? I'm not saying it's good, like it's very bad, and it cost them money. In fact, Peter Moore was the guy that was in charge of that. In fact, I like the story he told when he had to go and tell Steve Ballmer how much it was going to cost, and he said Ballmer said, "Okay, let's do it." Wrote him a check, and Peter, the way Peter talks, dude, he was scared, dude. He know that was a big problem. But so my experience with them only is I got the red ring of death, and then when I sent it in, they actually sent me just a brand new one, so I didn't have to wait. I got it back. I sent mine on a Wednesday. I got the new one by Friday, and they paid for all the shipping and stuff like that. So now in the beginning, so fortunate for me, I didn't get it in the beginning like other people. And you said you had 3, dude. And I know people that have 5 and more, and they were pissed. And I can't blame them, dude. They had a design issue, stuff like that. Something that they missed it. This is why you see Microsoft ultra with Xbox especially ultra focus on certain things with the console, right? That's why you have that with the Xbox One. You have that big thing on the top, right? The venting, which is crazy because that's such a strong thing now that people still talk about it, but it's something in the back of their mind. 360s are cheap now, and some can be found in the streets. Yeah, yeah. Um, Sega Man, who's on here, dude, he has 360s as well. I wish I would have kept mine because I had some of the collectible ones. Even my Xbox One, I had the Halo one that came out, but I gave it to my nephews, right? A lot of, and they were using it to play games like Fortnite, COD. Look into the 360 bad update exploits part of the Xbox history. Yeah, I have to, bro. I have to. Yeah, sorry, I don't know. I'll do that though, man. Yeah, but thanks for letting me know, dude. I know Hebot knows about it. Hebot talks about this, right? If he jumps on, then I'll ask him, and then he'll be able to talk about it in more detail. Because I know he knows that stuff, dude. He talks about uh, like backwards compatibility and all that stuff all the time. Yeah, but thanks, Oni. But so for hold on, let me go back here. So for Peter Moore, guys, it's just look, dude. Uh, like I said, I was there when he was ground floor. It was an interesting time, like he talked about, because he's pointing out the console wars, and it's the time that I grew up in. Um, I like the first part of the console war. I'm not gonna lie, just with this Nintendo and Sega thing, right? And I say this again. I'll just reiterate this. Even though you had a favorite, right? At the end of the day, you're a gamer. Same thing with my comic books, man. I was a Marvel fan. I'd get into it with DC guys all the time. But at the end of the day, we were comic book guys, right? The reason why, to talk about, and again, I didn't watch the actual interview, but to Peter Moore's point, yeah, that feistiness, especially from the Microsoft side when they first hit, the same thing like Sega when they first hit, and they're trying to make a name for themselves. That's where all that came from, right? It's part marketing, it's part trying to establish yourself, it's part business trying to actually make money off of this stuff, right? So it was just the nature of the beast back then. Things did take a turn for the worse though when Xbox came into it, and not because of Xbox, but because PlayStation again, dude. When it came to Sony and the PlayStation, dude, that's the first time I've seen like so many people that were not gamers come into the fold. Now, for most businesses, for most communities, guys, you would think it's a good thing, right? Because you're bringing more people in, and there was good for it. There was good that came out of that, dude. The business grew, right? You got a lot more variety on gaming because you have a lot of different people. Not everybody wanted to play games like I like to play, right? I played a lot of fighting games, played a lot of sports games, right? Platformers expanded. I like that. I can play a lot of different genres of games, so that kind of benefited me because you got like all kind of different stuff. The bad stuff about it expanding the way that it did, is that you lose the focus of what the core gamer is all about, right? And I did a podcast a couple weeks ago, talking to uh, Hebot specifically and Sega Man, and where we talked about it. And again, now, the way we were talking about it is an OG perspective, that we were all giving, right? So I remember those days, and like Peter Moore says, dude, I look back at those days with fondness, right? Because gaming was just different back then. Gaming was about the games first and foremost, about the culture, right? The stuff that we have right now, there's still that it still exists, right? Like you have guys like me that we're talking about it right now, but at the end of the day, it's not the same. And I think that's what Peter Moore's trying to say, right? When it comes to this kind of stuff. And it drove the industry forward, man. I hear people say that all the time. It was a dark time in gaming. I tell those people to be quiet. They're not even. It was never even on that level of bad, right? When they're looking back at it, dude, it was fun. It was good times, right? It was just like because it was all about the games, right? At the end of the day, it was all about the games, and that's what you cared about. Dude, I had a Nintendo system, I had a Sega system, I got the Xbox when it came out, and I had a PlayStation. Believe it or not, for all the. Oh, hold on, guys. Hey, Dia. Sorry.
Hi, Sega Forever.
What's up? Sorry, I was Dia, 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 Dia. Okay. Sorry, Dia. I was getting into my own world there.
Don't worry.
I didn't see that you jumped in. But I'm glad you're here because I really would like to get your perspective because I know we're more of the OG type
Mm-hmm.
gamers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, in fact, most of us are except for Unlimited, the
Yeah,
youngins.
except for
Except for
Unlimited.
Unlimited.
Yeah, everybody else has a history.
Yes, definitely. Oh, hey, let me acknowledge Zinc. What's up, Zinc?
Hey, Zeke, you stranger.
Yeah, look at Zinc.
You
PlayStation is
got
trash.
enough time to say that, no?
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like Zinc. I would do that too, Zinc. I'd throw a quick one in there just to say that. Um, says Two Man. What's up?
Hey, two men, and we got Daniel here, and we have Oni64. I don't know you, but nice to meet you.
I do like your picture though, man. Garfield. I,
Yep.
I used to collect. I had all his books when I was younger, and then I collected all the clippings. I used to clip his comic, the strip out of the newspaper, and I had a
Oh,
collection.
really? Oh,
Yeah, I was hardcore Garfield fan because he liked to sleep. He hated Mondays and he ate lasagna.
he did.
And when I was little, I was like, dude, that's my dream. That was my goals. Um, so yeah, Zink, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Yeah, so Oni had a good question. I don't know if you can answer this, Dia.
What?
He
What?
talked
Okay.
about the let me see if I can pull it up. 360 soft mod. I have no idea. Called the bad update exploit.
Hmm. Didn't you
That's a
have a
little outside of my
360?
wheelhouse. Yeah, it's a little outside of my wheelhouse.
Okay. Okay.
I wasn't sure if you knew anything about it, and it's fine if you don't. I mean, if Heba was here, I'm pretty sure he would know, or even Sega Man. I think it's from that old school, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But
A little before my time with the Xbox.
I mean, I was there in the 360 era, but I was a different gamer back then. Only I played mostly sports games, fighting games, platformers.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I changed a lot too.
Oh yeah.
At one point, I was playing like a lot of like fighters and stuff like that.
Oh, that's all I used to play. I used to go to
Yeah.
the arcade, and then what you would do is when a game the consoles got so much better, that the quality of the games at home was just almost
That
it.
yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying?
yes. Yeah, yeah.
So that's how you save quarters, right? You practice at home, then you go to the arcade.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what drew me to Sega though. That's why I liked them so much.
Oh yeah, yeah. When Virtual Fighter hit, I was all in.
Yep, yep. They games just always felt like you were at an arcade. They had that same feel, but at home, and that's what I liked about it. You
Yeah,
know.
that's their background. Speaks volumes of that. How they kind of
Hmm.
came up. But the interesting thing about that is like I got crap from my friends, but in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Not like now. It wasn't toxic. Like back then, I was playing more Virtual Fighter than Street Fighter. And I remember
Right.
my friend
Yeah.
came over and goes, "What, dude? Are you gonna play Street Fighter or what?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm playing Virtual Fighter." I was into
Hmm.
Virtual Fighter, so he gave me some crap about it. Yeah, like my friend, like he would kick my ass all the time.
Did it?
Actually he trained me how to play Street Fighter. He was that good.
Oh wow.
And
Okay.
yeah, my friend Mark. And so I was playing. so then I, so then I went over to the Street Fighter again. This other guy that was there, he was really good, and he basically destroyed me. And then my
Oh
friend looked at me and goes, "Yeah, see,
jeez.
that's what you get when you just play Virtual Fighter." Right? He's like, "Yeah, you got to practice your skill because we play in tournaments."
Oh yeah. Then you definitely have to practice.
Yeah, there were some really great guys, but my friend, he's probably the best Street Fighter guy that I knew. He would destroy people with Dalsum, E Honda, um, and that's the thing. Like he would pick characters that most people wouldn't play with.
I like those people because I knew people like if you could believe it. I don't know if you guys know so much about Street Fighter, but
Yeah,
one of the at that time because I know a lot of the roster has changed a lot since then,
yeah,
um, but Dan was like the kind of joke character, and I remember this one time this guy was practicing with Dan. I was like, "Why are you practicing with Dan?" And he was like, "Cause he wanted to be good at the characters that people wouldn't suspect."
yeah. That was my friend too. He was the same way, and he was a beast with that.
Wow.
The thing that he would do was, so like we were in Japantown, and so
Yeah.
we were playing. So one time, so I was playing, and these guys were way better than me. This is when I first started practicing with my friends. So we go over there to practice, and these guys are taking turns kicking my butt. And then my friend was on another machine. So he came over and he saw these guys like what they do is one guy would beat me and then his friend would and then they would like kind of say something. They were speaking like, well, these guys were Chinese, so they were speaking Chinese to each other, and then they were coming over there trying to like just run just destroy me. And
Right.
then my friend come over and he's cool. He's from New York, and he come over. He goes, I was in the Navy at the time, so we call each other by our last name, right? So he goes, "Hey, Trip," like that. I go, "Oh, hey, Mark." He goes, "Timberlake." That was his last name, Mark Timberlake.
Hmm.
So I said, "Hey, what's up, Timberlake?" He goes, yeah, he looked at me, and goes, "Do you mind?" He sounded almost like Samuel Jackson in Pulp
Oh
Fiction.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he goes, "Do you mind if I have a turn?" Like that. He said it like that, so everybody could hear. And so he stepped in there, right? And I was like, "Oh yeah, go ahead." And who I picked. Was I using Guile or Zangief? I can't remember. What-
Guile, man, I've seen Guile can be worked really well by
yeah,
some people.
yeah.
That character used to be a nightmare.
Well, so he knew of the whole Stone Monkey thing and stuff like that, right? But
Uh-huh.
so he was playing there, and he just went off. He just ripped right through these dudes.
Oh
And so
wow.
what they try to do, they try and I was believe it or not, I was really skinny back then. Back then, I was like a beanpole. So these
Hmm.
guys, they try and crowd you around the thing. So my friend, he was as wide as a house, dude. I mean, he was huge. He was a big dude. I used to go to the gym with them, and then we played Street Fighter. And so he moved in there. He just kind of moved him over. You know what I'm saying? Because he was like so wide, and he just destroyed him. And
Wow.
so after he destroyed him the first time, they called their other friend. This was supposed to be the good guy. So then he picked E Honda, and they started giggling, right? And then they picked Ryu, and he just ate their lunch.
Wow.
Yeah, just totally decimated these dudes. That's how good he was. Like it didn't matter who he played.
It didn't matter. Yeah, those type of because I've seen some devastating E Honda players, but
Yeah,
yeah, I've seen some good characters. With like good gamers with characters you would least suspect. You
yeah.
know.
The one thing that he taught me, and I'm not saying that I was great at it, but I was above average. is he taught me how to read the animations, which I had no clue.
Oh,
Like if you
oh,
look at what's going to happen, it's all you can kind of guess. Well, this is back when they had Super Street Fighter. I think it's like, I think they changed it, because the games got way faster. But
yes,
back in the day, you can actually
faster
see
life.
them like the fireball when they're gonna do stuff. You can kind of, you
Right.
know, like you can do it by gut, or you just see that and you see them kind of go in the animation, and you can kind of judge. So that's how you catch
Oh,
people. And
oh,
that's and that was it. Like that's how I would punch through fireballs and hurricane kick over fireballs and
oh, okay.
grab people with Zangief easily. Especially Zangief
Yeah,
was a beast back
he
in the
was a
day.
nightmare too because he
Yeah,
grabbed you out of everything.
yeah.
Jeez, I used to be mad at that character.
And then his range was a lot. His
It
range,
is,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. He takes a lot of health. He grabs you almost out of everything, and you're right. His range was big.
And the messed up part was the first Street Fighter 2, right? You didn't bounce away from him.
Right.
So I would grab people right after. You grab them once, and then because what people do, they want to get up and they either want to shoot
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
or do something like try and attack you, right? Well, it doesn't really matter what they do, but they're quiet. I would just go into the motion and grab them again. Oh, that would tick people off. And it was so bad they actually fixed that, right? I think they fixed it in Champion Edition. I think Champion Edition
Oh,
is when you hit the
that's
ground.
what happened with that. Yeah, yeah.
That's why you would bounce away, right? Because you know it's not fun, right? You're losing quarters, right? But people won't play. So,
Right.
but I'm sorry. Anyway, we got distracted. But that's what I was going to talk about a little bit. Yeah, we're going to talk about the console war.
Isn't that dead? I mean, there is no console war. Microsoft is not playing that game.
Well, it's interesting because I did read this article. I read several articles on Peter Moore, uh,
Hmm.
and so he did an interview. I just don't like Paris. I'm sorry. I just don't like.
I know
You know,
it's some people, man, that just like we should even mention him around Zinc because that'll set him off.
yeah, I was excited till I saw who was, and I don't have a problem with the other dude, Danny Pena. I actually like him. But Paris, I'm like, look, dude, I'm done with this guy, right? So
Hmm.
I'll try, and because it's Peter Moore, I'll go try and watch it. But I just read a couple articles, and I
Okay.
thought it was
Oh,
interesting.
and Paris wrote it. You saying?
Oh no, just different articles online.
Oh, just
People,
different ones. Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, so people covering the interview, but I don't have the full context of the interview. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I see. Okay. When did
Because
this happen? This is recent.
yeah, it's called Radio. I think he did it the other day.
I saw that. Uh, what if he just says, Zeke, hey, I see the error in my ways. Would you like them then?
That's funny. Um, but yeah, so I might have to bite the bullet just because I want to see what Peter Moore has to say in
It
context.
has to say, yeah, because you don't hear from him very often.
I mean, he'll pop in every once in a while, and
It's rare,
I,
though.
yeah, and usually it tends to happen when the narrative starts to shift, right? And the narrative right now, again, we all know this, right? If we follow gaming media and just the gaming culture in general, is that Microsoft is going with Xbox is going multi-platform. They're going to be a multi-platform publisher.
They've been multi-plat.
Yeah. So
They've been
they are
multi-plat since they moved it to PC.
right. But the thing that gets me is like Microsoft goes multi-platform, and I like to do this online. I say translation. They're saying that Microsoft is going to die.
Oh my gosh.
That's not Microsoft. Xbox is going to die. That's the way I read it.
I mean, that's a dumb statement because you
Yeah.
then tell me about all these other multi-plat companies that put their games everywhere and do just fine. And in fact, some of them do better than the games that's just stuck on console. So, I mean, what is the point? I mean, why are they talking about something so obvious? It doesn't make no sense.
Well, that's the narrative, right? And that's what they're presenting, and it's a
What, they
constant.
recycling narratives now? I mean, they ran out.
Well, I'll be honest with you, yeah, that's why I haven't been doing a lot of Xbox stuff. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on with Xbox, but it has to do with actual gaming. So you know what I'm
It
saying?
is. I mean, you know the Xbox community been quiet because they've been playing. They
Yeah.
playing games all the time. Like, and they trying to clear up stuff, getting ready for the next game. What's the next game coming out? I think it's South of Midnight, right? If
No,
you're just looking at first
33.
part,
33
33
Immortal.
Immortal. Oh, that's coming out soon.
Yeah, yeah.
I was waiting on that game. So what date? When is that
I
coming?
think it's this month on the 18th. Let me look it up. Yeah,
Is
I don't
it?
want
Oh
to give bad
man,
information. Hold on.
I was waiting on that game. It's so many people could play in there.
It's crazy. It's nonstop.
Oh my gosh, that game came out of nowhere. Then Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2 and 3, I think it is 2 and 3, no 3 and 4 or something like that, just dropped, and they
Right.
enhanced it. They did all they updated
Yeah.
the graphics and everything with that game.
Oh, sorry, 33 Immortals. Sorry.
33 and more. Yeah, I remember that. Like you can have like up to what 30 something people in there and stuff, and you all fighting everywhere. It's like chaotic and stuff like in there. I remember that because it was on the Microsoft Showcase, Xbox
Yeah.
Showcase.
March 18th.
March 18th. Wow. How did I miss that? Maybe they said that at Idea Xbox, and because IGN was hosting it, I didn't even look at it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
That's probably where they said it. Yeah, I didn't look at it. I was like, I can't deal with IGN. I can't do it.
I can't stand it. But I think I might have to go watch it.
Yeah,
Um,
you probably will because they probably told us about what in the games that are coming out that are smaller
yeah.
that we were looking forward to. I wonder if they talked about Silk Song.
Oh, I forgot about it.
That one's still coming. And oh, what about Replaced? I don't. What happened with Replaced? Is that still coming out this year?
I know it's coming, but I don't know if it's this year.
Man, it's just so many games I've been waiting for, but don't know when they're coming out.
Zink said people took Peter Moore out of context and didn't understand what Peter was saying. Yeah, Zink. So that's why I need to watch
Yeah,
it.
he's gonna have. I don't even know what they said either. So.
Well, like this title right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that's what Zink's referencing.
X
Microsoft.
Xbox boss
Yeah.
says console war has lost its feistiness.
Yeah.
Uh, It's as Microsoft goes multi-platform, so is PlayStation. They beat Microsoft to the punch putting the game day and date on another platform. They
Yeah.
did that with Nintendo. What are
Yeah.
these people talking about?
Yeah. It's just
To me, the article is stupid because it's not. They're not saying anything we don't already know.
well, that's what I mean, right? It's what they're suggesting in this. So when it says Microsoft goes multi-platform, what they really mean to say is that there's not going to be any Xbox.
They've been multi-platform for years. That's the stupid thing. Like, geez, do these people have nothing else to write about?
No, obviously not. See, if
Oh
they had
my
Xbox,
God.
that's why I always tell them. I was like, that's why I don't listen to these guys. Because if they had Xbox, they'd be playing games.
I'm saying because the Xbox community been quiet. They just been playing stuff.
Yeah,
You
we
know,
can't.
like I ain't seen the peep out of them. I don't know what the PlayStation guys are doing. I guess they're desperate. Their narratives are drying up or something. I don't know because they haven't been kicking up as much. I guess the last thing I heard was they still don't believe Fable is the way it looks, or something like that. They don't believe Fable is going to play the way it looks. So I'm like, okay, we're talking about Playground Games here, who when they first showed Forza Horizon 5, people thought they was looking at like a picture or a real life shot
Yeah,
in some location in the world and found out it was the video game when a car zipped by. That's who we talking about here. So
yeah. It's funny because I've been playing Avowed nonstop,
yeah,
and I'm already like looking at running through it again with a different character and going different paths, and because
so many people say
yeah,
that because there's so many ways to build out your character in there.
yeah.
Who would have thought?
And that's the sad thing about it. I've had to like I actually literally like sit there. One day I just played it a couple hours
Hmm.
just to organize everything and go back and look at some stuff and actually determine what I'm going to sell and what I'm going to keep.
Yeah, I be selling stuff all the time.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
wasn't at
care.
first. Yeah, I wasn't at first, but once I made the decision to stick just completely magic.
Yeah, just stick with what works. And then later, if you have to buy it or make it or something, or whatever, you can do that. Because
Yeah.
you get enough stuff items, in my opinion.
I
So
wish they would have started me off with a little bit more on the magic side though. Um,
what I'm sorry, what was you playing again? What class was you playing again?
I'm a mage, but I call
Oh, a
myself a
mage,
battle mage,
okay.
yeah. Because I got more weapons than I did me. It took a little
Oh,
while before I got a grimoire.
I was getting more magic and I'm like a ranged character. I was like, why am I getting so much magic items?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Wands and all this. I was using what I had, but I was like, yeah, I was getting it took me a long time to get another bow, a better bow. Like
Well, I
I
think that's why they allow you to buy and respec your character.
yeah,
But
yeah.
then when you hurting for gold, you know what I'm saying?
I know. That's what I was like cheap as heck. I was frugal. I was like, I want to save these coins until like, I can really use it. Now I'm starting to spend it on things, but Not in the beginning, I wasn't.
I know it felt like a real economy. I was
Yeah,
like,
it did. It felt like am I living? It's like it's Pillars like set in the Depression era and stuff.
yeah, exactly. I was looking at this like, dude, how much for that milk? Are you kidding me right now?
Oh
That should
my
be like two.
gosh,
That should be two, not 12. I was like, oh, you guys are
penny
nuts.
pitching like crazy in that world, man. Like,
But they want you to search. That's why That's why you know there's nothing in those boxes, but you break it just in case.
I mean, I break it in case, like maybe
Yeah.
you just be nice enough to drop something for me. You know?
Yeah, that game, that's the evilness of it, the good evilness. I'm not complaining. I
Mhm.
mean, you know what I mean? It
That
is what
darn
it is.
Obsidian,
Yeah.
darn you.
Um,
Zeke says,
yeah,
facts. We're playing games. I'm looking forward to the golf game with Tiger on the cover and still have to play a Oh, that's cool. Okay, you're into sports games too. After beating Ninja Gaiden 6 times, I figured that's Ninja Gaiden is so good. It's so good. And
yeah.
I'm kind of split my time again. I'm still like going back and forth. I've been putting more time into V Rising. That's the game I bought on
Which one?
PC. It's
Which one?
called V Rising, but I guess it hasn't come to console yet. But it would be a perfect game for console. Let me see. I'll get a link. Just let me see. Can I show? Because I didn't know much about it either. But that darn little game is fun. It's like it's really fun. I guess it's only on Steam. I guess. It's from Stunlock Studios. Have you ever heard of them? They made the game in Unity.
Studios.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I see it. Stunlock Studios.
Yeah,
What is it? V Rising.
V Rising, and that game is really fun. It's like you fight you play as a vampire, and they
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I saw the trailer for this.
that game is fun to me. I didn't think it would because my friend was playing it, and I was like, "What is that game?" He was like, "You gotta check out this game. It's called V Rising." He said, "Would you, you know?" And he kind of hinted like he want me to play it with him and stuff. And I said, I looked at it; it didn't cost that much, so I said, "Okay, I'll do it," you know. And then I got into it. He kind of showed me how to do things and stuff. And then I was like, "This is kind of fun." Like I done built like a castle, and I go around. You have to drink blood from time to time because that goes down. But your vampire has magic and stuff. You travel through these different waypoints and stuff, and you fight these bosses to steal their special like they all have a special skill that you steal from them. So you have an ability to steal from. And then I just recently I turned ordinary human because it's humans that are active in the world at all times. Like I wonder if they're using a little bit of AI or something because these human like creatures in the world, they sometimes be fighting each other and engaging with each other without you being there at all. Like the world is constantly active, right? So yeah, that looks like the starting point there, what you have there.
Yeah, so it's supposed to be. Let me play a little bit of it.
Just if anybody's interested, if you have that, you know, if you have access to it.
Rise from your deathless slumber.
If you like vampires, I guess.
You are a vampire, a creature of the night. Explore the unknown.
It's like Diablo, or has a Diablo.
It kind of feels like that, but it's not as dark as Diablo.
Survive
Diablo
a
so
world
dark.
full of danger. Hide from the deadly sunlight.
Sorry, I'm trying to just avoid.
And that's another thing. You
Begin
gotta stay out of the
rebuilding
sun
your
because you
castle,
can get
piece
it can
by
kill
piece.
you, right? So you're during
You know
the
what it
day.
reminds me of? It
The
reminds me
time
of
has
Outline
come
a little bit.
to regain
Does it?
power and
I mean, like
reclaim
the,
what was
you gotta
once
grab stuff and then you
yours.
gotta build stuff.
Right. Well, he has to build because he's been like your character starts off like he's been asleep
Gather
for
your
maybe
army
thousands of years and
darkness
stuff.
and
So he
conquer
has to
every
rebuild
corner of
everything.
the
He's
world.
building like his empire.
Stalk the night. Hunt for blood.
You can steal like
Become
abilities from different
terror
people and stuff. So
itself.
depend on who you fight, you can also he has the ability to see you sucking out blood out of people too. And like it's like you got warriors, human characters. It's just it's a big world. Like it doesn't feel like it's that big, but it's huge.
I'm pretty sure this will come out.
I think so. Because like I said, Xbox can easily run a game like that.
The thing I like about it is we don't get it right away.
The
because
rulers
but it
of
gets
the
it when we do
night
get it,
have
we get a better
returned.
version.
That's
I mean, you know what
true.
I'm saying? Not a better version, but
vampires
That's
are
true. That's
rising.
true.
post
That's
roll.
happened sometimes to PC when things didn't come there, and then when it does, it's better. It's better than what they had. Yeah.
That looks pretty cool. I mean, I need something. I need something that I can't play Diablo. Get
Yeah,
something.
that right. Right, but that game is not nearly as dark as Diablo. I like Diablo. I know it's a good game, but it's too dark. You know, right? But it's very fun. And then they got like really cool DLC. Like you can get like Castlevania and play out Castlevania in that game, which is awesome if you love
Let me
Castlevania.
shut this down. Sorry. Okay, sorry about that. Oh, the chat. We'll take
Okay, let's read. Where do we leave off in the chat? Do you have the number?
2 man.
2 men.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Pepe Le Pew. I just saw you. Hi, Pepe Le Pew, and we got Vontae there. We got KT the Goat. Hi, KT. I haven't seen you in a while. I've been so busy. I can't get on the and I watch your podcast after the fact. I never can get in live though. And Hebot. Hi, Hebot. Hi, Anthony.
Oh,
Anthony
Hebot's here.
Chipmunk.
Oh, Hebot, I sent you the link on Instagram. Sorry,
Yeah, that's how I got it. It was already there.
yeah, my ex account, dude, is just bombarded with stuff. So where was I? Sorry.
Yeah.
Picking up says Savage Planet. Do you read that one? Dude, not too long ago, Pepe, I just started playing just playing Savage Planet itself. It's a cool, really cool game.
Oh, okay.
My daughter played it first. I got it because I wanted to. I like the art. The art. I like the way they made it look. I
The
like
art style and the look and feel of the world, right?
yeah, but
Yeah.
it's no joke, man. It's not like a kiddie game.
You know, that can be deceptive. That's why I tell people not to judge a game by how it looks because I played some games that look like cartoony but kicked my butt. Like, like it was a tough game. So sometimes you just never know with those type of games.
Right.
They
2 man.
just have an art style to them, you know.
Yeah, I like that kind of art style.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me like it's like that gun game that came out. I forgot what it was called. The one with the talking guns.
Oh, I bought that game. It's a
Yeah.
it's what was the name of that game? Gosh, it's been a while since I played it. High on Life. That's
Yeah,
what
High
it
on
was.
Life.
High
I
on
like
Life.
that type
Yeah.
of animation.
Oh my gosh, High on Life was such a funny game. I was laughing so much in that game.
Yeah, it's good.
Them guns, man. And I think my favorite was Knifey. I swear that Knifey
Oh
was
yeah,
like
yeah.
a murderer. Like I was like, he's a mass killer.
But it's all good, right? Because he has that Australian accent. Which makes
Yeah,
it
it's like you can accept it better. Yeah, like you talking about, like, let me get inside your gushy innards and stuff like.
yeah,
Like he wanted to kill me. Like why?
yeah. He would say that's the thing.
Oh man, that
Let's
that
see.
game is fun.
Zink says 2man55. I'm only here in hopes to entice DF 4568 to play
Oh, get
Gears
out of
5
here.
for both.
Zeke is never around. Oh, only his after image. You can't even catch him.
Yeah. Pepe Le Pew says Adam Fall. Yeah, I forgot about Adam Fall.
Oh, that's right. Adam Fall. That's coming out in
Oh.
March. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and Claire Obscura. Oh my god.
That's April 20. Jeez, look at that. This is why you're not hearing nothing from Xbox gamers.
That's
They're playing
crazy.
too much stuff.
And then these are games that you just don't play it and then finish it. Like you have to put
No, you
you
have
put
to
the time
actually right. That's what I was going to say. And you got to invest the time into it.
Hey Vontae, what's up, brother?
Ante.
Vontae Solo Rising, new episode. Is today?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I'm waiting. Like that's why when my daughter comes, like I might have to bounce off. I was debating whether to do this because usually I do it earlier,
Yeah.
but I had stuff to do this morning, and then so I had to do it. And so I
Right.
was like, oh, I'll just try and get one in before she gets here. So because we've both been watching it, and then I cheated. I went and got the books.
Did you? Oh.
Yeah, I had to.
My husband watches it. He likes it.
Well, the anime takes kind of longer to, because it's every week they do it.
It is, and sometimes it takes a while before they hit certain points about the show. 'Cause it'd be interesting to watch. But I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was looking at Pepe. Atelier Yumia. Yeah, that looked good. I'm sorry. That comes with the Alchemist. When is that coming out? March 21st? Oh my god. In the first Berserker, that looks good. I actually played the demo of that.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one he bought. Is looking forward to.
Yes, that's a very that the style in that game. You talking about style? I love that style in that game. It's like this cell shaded kind of stylistic look. I don't know. I love it. I love it. But Atelier Yumia, that looks good too. Pepe Le Pew. That looks really really good. Both of those look good though.
Where are
That
we?
that let's say the Envisionland. Okay, Dow House behind the broken. Now wait a minute, Dow House, Dow House. I have to look that one up. Maybe I missed that one.
Is that based on a TV show, Pepe?
Dow. Ooh, I used to watch that.
Yeah, back in. That
That
was
was
like
so good. That was such a good show.
what is
Dow
that?
House.
What's his name?
What is that
Elijah
called?
Dush. Yeah,
It's called
Elijah Dushku. Man, I was a huge Elijah Dushku fan. Still am.
Dow House behind
The Broken Mirror
the
March 20.
broken mirror. Okay, there we go. Trailer.
Ebot, I sent it again on Instagram. You have to go on Instagram, brother.
Oh my gosh, they got 4 PlayStation videos before I even hit an Xbox one. Jeez.
Oh yeah, you know the Apple deal.
Like, do you need 4 all up at the top? You know,
Pepe says I'm buying all these games. You the man, Pepe.
I know. Pepe, you must be wealthy, man.
Yeah.
How you get time to buy all those games at full price?
Hey,
I
what's
could
up, Katie? Katie's in the house.
Yeah, KT. I love KT. He's a good guy.
Yeah. Welcome, bro. And then, sorry, I just trying to get to you.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking
Hebot.
at the trailer.
I just sent it again, Hebot.
Oh, that's like, whoa. Oh, this looks like a horror game. Hold up.
Oh, that's different. Anthony Chipmunk. Anthony, man, cheers, brother. Welcome.
Oh. You might want to play that one. That looks good. So if people don't know what that game is, that looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, Anthony says, "What's up?" He says, "What's up, Zinc? What's up,
What's
Toolman?
up, Anthony?
Toolman. Hey, other Zinc." Yeah, Zinc says, "What's up?" All right, we're just cutting through these guys real quick.
Okay.
Vante, how games play always mattered more than how games look. How games look just vary in personal preference. Yeah, that's a Vante. I was saying that to people because it was driving me nuts with Avowed because they said the graphics look horrible. I'm like,
Oh yeah.
but
Actually,
when you
that game is
listen,
beautiful though. I don't know what they're talking about. That game looked gorgeous.
but when you listen to them, though, what they're complaining about is actually the art style that they don't like. Like for me personally, there's some of the characters I don't like the art style.
Right.
But that's different from the graphics, right?
That
Because
is
like
different. Yeah.
yeah, because like when you hear somebody say that, my mind automatically goes to something maybe with the clipping, like what
Mhm.
was the jittering. Like,
Right.
that matters to me because with Obsidian Games, I couldn't play their other games because they have this judder that my eyes pick up on, and it makes
Really?
me sick. Yeah, so my daughter can
You,
play it
you
fine.
didn't play Grounded? I tell you, that game is deceptive to you. It's a beautiful looking game. A lot of attention to detail in that game, but
Yeah,
it has that cartoony look. But they make that game look so good though.
yeah,
It's like
Grounded was fine. There's the other one, Obsidian, the one in space.
what space? Outer Worlds? You talking
Outer Worlds. Yeah,
about? Okay, that one was the jittery one you're talking about, right?
yeah, that's there's just something about their camera in that
Oh,
thing that makes
okay,
me
okay.
nauseous. So I'm hopefully like, and so I was kind of weary about Avowed, but Avowed I had no problem with, and hopefully Outer
It was
Worlds.
smooth, buttery smooth, in my opinion.
Well, you can tell that they really upgraded. You know.
Yes, they did. And that's look, people, this is what we're looking at. We're looking at what it means to be an Xbox first party developer.
Yeah.
Because we're seeing improvements in all the studios that Microsoft Xbox acquired.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, nobody can point out to one company that hasn't upped their game. Let's look at Ninja Theory. Look at well, we haven't seen uh Double Fine yet, but when we did understand that it was Phil that said, you know what, put all that stuff you took out back in, put it all back in, and it made the game so good that it was nominated for a Game of the Year. So in my opinion, all I've been seeing is incredible games. Whether you like them or not is irrelevant. All of the games are good quality, well made. They haven't had a stinker yet, in my opinion. Whether it's Age or Aura, it doesn't matter what the game is. If it's Flight Sim, it's just all of them are handled. It's almost like there's no other game in the world but that one game. Like it feels like when Xbox drops that one game, like it's no other game that exists except that one game, and they want that game to be the very best game that you've ever played. That's what it feels like to me.
Well,
That's
that's
how
why
much attention to it.
I was kind of ranting about that a little earlier. That's why I think Xbox and Microsoft need to address some of this stuff, because at the end of the day, if you tell me that you care about your studios, which I see that you do, you guys give them the time and the attention and the resources,
Right.
and then you feel like moving stuff like Fable. There's stuff that you do to make sure the games get the most exposure,
Exactly.
the right resources.
Exactly.
So you need to address. I know they don't like to do that, man, but that's something that Phil needs to address, because what hurts as well is all the negativity surrounding your stuff. Because Avowed is a great game.
It is. It's a well-made game.
Yeah, and so on the same level that you think you need to, the advertisement you put in, the shows that you produce, the developer directs, the stuff behind the scene, all the stuff that you do, right?
That's an excellent point.
Yeah.
The amount of quality, even when it comes to things like that, the developer directs, the showcases and stuff, you can see the quality upgrade. That's an excellent point.
But the thing that bothers me the most is that you go through all of that, yet you won't deal with one of the biggest problems in the gaming community, because of the way people look at Xbox and the narrative that's out there in Xbox. You have to address that at some point. I know that
I don't even think it matters, because they can't outdo like however many of the media is out there. They can't do it. All they can do, in my opinion, what they're doing now is the best way to handle it. In this, I'm not saying that they never thought, but you can't. If a person can get a game in their own hand, and they see that the game was marked down a 5 or a 6 from IGN or something, if they play it and they see what this game is like, then that will, in my opinion, erode the trust in the media as it should be, the gaming media.
Yeah, but people won't even touch it. I'll give you an example, right? When the Avowed art director came on, and this was more on the political side, right? Which really doesn't have anything to do with the game in a sense, right? I mean, now that I played the game, it didn't really inform the game on that level.
It did.
And it was
actually.
personal opinion. What they decided to do was just to shut the dude up. Okay, fine, that can work, but there was a stigma already attached to the game.
It was.
On top of the stigma that's already attached to Xbox.
Yeah.
Because that's what people say. Well, should I go buy it about? Because Xbox, they'll probably put it on PlayStation, or what, Xbox won't be around anyway.
Right.
And you have to address that. Now, I'm not saying you have to come out gun blazing like I would, go to nuclear option and just blow everything up.
I agree with you. Actually, they should not have let that man's. First off, they should stop their employees from saying stuff like that. What he said, I do not condone that. I still stand by that. I don't give a pass just because he works for Xbox, in one of the studios. I could care less. In my opinion, the guy should have lost his job for that stuff, because it was hurting the brand. It was hurting the game.
Yeah, so you're already handicapped, right?
Yeah,
that definitely doesn't help.
That's why I think they need to talk to their employees and tell them that they can't be bringing their personal stuff in. I don't care if it's a personal Twitter and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
If it's personal, lock it up so that nobody sees it. And then if it's something they want to say out there for all people to see, they have to keep in mind that they work for Xbox and have a criteria there, because it's going to hurt them no matter what.
I will say the Xbox and Microsoft does better than most people. Definitely more than most people, right? But still, when you're already starting from a step or two lower, whatever gets dumped on you on top of that. This is why I say, again, that they need to get a little bit more hands-on with this stuff. All the stuff that they do is great. But again, there's a narrative out there, and there's people out there, because I follow these guys. Now, I don't necessarily follow them for gaming. In fact, I actually don't. I wouldn't. If other than the stuff that they cover in pop culture, if they cover gaming, I probably wouldn't subscribe to them, right? Because they can't tell me anything I already don't know, and they
you
already
don't already know, right? Yeah.
right? So, but I will say this, like, because of the way everything is on social media, especially when you have people doing YouTube channels and giving their opinions, everything is cross pollinating, right? So
Mm-hmm.
the person that talks about and is more knowledgeable about comic books, and then he starts talking about video games because of the sense of maybe there's a comic book video game, which is understandable. But what happens is politics has kind of invaded it, right? So now they're talking about that as well because they talk about it in the area of expertise that they know, which I'm fine with, right? But when they start crossing those streams and they start coming over, right? And there's a general consensus about what Xbox is, at least for the
Right.
most part. And I'm not saying
Right.
it's fair. I'm not saying it's right. In fact, I think it's mostly wrong.
I do too. Yeah.
Um, but I mean, that's the only thing. Like, I'm not gonna get all upset about it, but that's the one thing I feel, and I don't think they ever will because that's not what they do, right? And
Right.
that comes from the way that they, the way that they feel like they should run it. But look, dude, you do everything so well, and you put so much time, attention, and money, resources into these studios and into these games, into the ecosystem. I think it'd be in your best interest not to come out. Look, like when Aaron Greenberg said something this one time, and then even what's his name? Dude, Larry Herb, right? He was on somebody's. They were doing an event. I want to say it's E3. I could have been wrong. Might have been Gamescom. Then he gets invited, right, to talk about Xbox. One of the things about Xbox, right? And then
Yeah.
he comes on, right? And then what ended up happening was they talked about something that was in a negative context, and he reacted, right? But then right after that, dude, you never heard anything about this. So I know they talked to him. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what I mean. Like I'm like, okay, you're gonna have to address this at some time. And when you go on people's podcasts that are predominantly Xbox and they're questioning you about stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But, and that's what irks me about these dudes, right? Because you're questioning them based on the narrative that's set not by Xbox or Microsoft, right? But by the media, who you shouldn't be listening to. And that's what upsets me because some of the stuff they asked them, I'm like, bro, don't you have an Xbox? You're an
That is a good point. Yeah, you be like wondering why are you asking that question if you had an Xbox, you'd already know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, did you play the game? Like, are you in the ecosystem? Right? Like you said, what are you giving us? What are you giving the gamers out there? I was like, bro, like 1,000 games just dropped in this month, right?
I know. And we ain't even through this first half of the year is gonna be it's just a nightmare. It is for a gamer trying to find the time.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
on that, on that level, if
Mhm.
that's the one thing I hope that they do, I know they won't, right? I mean, I was just on the, I was laughing because they're not at this. I'm not okay. Let me be clear. So Call of Duty, right? Call of
Yeah.
Duty launched a Women's Day or Women's Month little advert, right, for their
Okay.
game. No
Okay.
problem with that, right?
Hmm.
But if you go, there's a trailer, right? And if you go in the comment section, dude, they're getting it left, right, up, down, sideways, diagonally, horizontal. Like everybody's just on them, dude. And if you're a political person, it's like everybody just hates them. Whether you're on a left leaning, a right leaning,
What
independent.
was they what was they having a problem with that with? I'm confused.
So if you're somebody technically on the right side of politics, right, you're like, oh, so it's woke, right? And then if you're on the left side of stuff, they're like, oh, that's great that you celebrating women, except for the AI that you use and not paying actual voice actors.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Well,
so I'm
oh,
like,
yeah.
so I'm
So it,
not like, if it's possible to offend every single group, they should get the
wow.
cookie doll because they hit the
Wow.
grand prize. They won the lottery. I'm like sitting there looking at this, and I'm just like, oh, bro, this is so nuts. You know what I'm saying? That they
Right.
got it from from every angle, dude. People is all over.
That's
You know?
crazy.
It is crazy, but I mean, they kind of they do certain things. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's right. I think it's a little bit unfair, if I'm being honest. It'll not stop me from playing COD. I mean, they're cashing their checks, right? Because when I
Right.
go into COD, like that gets Ninja Turtles now, and I'm running around, everybody's a Foot Clan guy.
Did you get the Ninja Turtles? I'm curious.
I might get it. It's only
Does
like
it look good in game?
uh, I have to check my COD. Leave my COD at the door. I mean, this is not like my traditional COD that I like, but
Okay.
I think it looks okay. I mean, you
Oh,
already have Squid Game. I love the Squid Game.
yeah, the Squid Game.
Yeah, they did Terminator, right?
Yeah. I was just curious about the turtles because they hard to get right. So
Oh, well, you have to pay for them, I believe.
yeah, you do. But I mean like the look, because like people don't they sometimes have the turtles, but they don't quite look right enough. But it looked like they did a pretty good job in COD though. But that's why I was asking you how to actually look in game.
Oh, well, 1 second there. Hey, Hebot, I'm sorry, brother. I was off. I was off screen. I didn't know you were here. I was off screen. I just seen the message. Sorry. Please pop back in, and I'll stay on screen. I was actually off on the article.
You're gonna have Hebot kill you, you know.
I know, no, you know, because sometimes I was talking, but I'm actually on the I'm actually on another tab.
Oh, okay.
I was venting a little bit, so I didn't go back to the main. That's to see. That's why I give credit to people that do this stuff because, and now I see why people have producers to do their help them do their job.
Yes, that's what their job is, to help you stay on track, to keep things, you know, sort of work, you know, organized for you, you know, so that you don't, so that it flows, you know, you don't have to worry about that aspect of it.
Yeah, I was upset because I was talking on one of my videos and I didn't realize I muted my mic.
Oh wow, no way.
Yeah, so there's like dead air on one of the videos. I was like,
Wow. Nobody told you? They
well, it
didn't
was
say
like nobody
anything?
was listening. Like it was just an off video that I was doing,
Oh, wow.
and it wouldn't have mattered anyway because again I was off screen because I was searching for stuff. So I gotta stop doing that.
Oh man.
Fonte says a lot of games dropping on the next few months when my job is going to be its busiest of the year is really annoying.
Yeah.
Well, and again, credit to Microsoft and Xbox and Game Pass, right? They keep these games in for a
Oh
while.
my gosh. They like putting me in a coma at this point. You know?
If there's one thing, dude, if you hear anybody say that Xbox has no games, you know, like 100 always says, grab a bag of nickels and smack yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Because that's there's nowhere near the truth. And then if you're one of these persons that feels that way, then there's nothing I can do for you.
There's nothing nobody can do to help you.
Dude, with all the type of games they have, even if you only like specific games, they cover every genre.
They cover every different, even little kid games pop in there and all this. They got retro style like games. They have a little bit of everything. And then they have the major stuff.
Hebot. What's up, all brothers in the chat? Other Zing, Toolman, Pepe, Anthony Chipmunk. Yeah, Hebot, I hope you're still there. Just jump back in. Let me resend this. Go ahead, Dave. I'm just gonna resend this just in case.
Oh, okay. I'll read it out then. Okay, that's just Anthony saying hi to Hebot. Okay, Vontae says, I'm waiting for my friend to get his paycheck so he can buy Split Fiction and we can play. Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that game. You have to tell me how that game is, how it plays, if you think it's good. But I think it looks good anyway.
Mm-hmm. And you know I hate Instagram, dude. I'm just inundated with porn people.
Yeah.
Because like they have somebody that likes your comment,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because there's this person I follow, and I wrote, hey, I watch anime, K dramas, and these updates because she does these updates in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get a response on it, and I looked, I was like, oh, and it's some girl in a song.
What? Oh wow.
I'm like, okay, you know, delete. See, and this is what messes me up, right? So now I'm trying to find Hebot. I have no idea where his thing is. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
You want me to read ahead or?
Yeah. I'm sorry.
Okay. Sovereign, who I don't know. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming here. He said, "How are we doing tonight?" He said, "What up? How are we doing tonight?" And we're doing pretty good. Just covering some subjects here. Vontae is next after that, and he says, "Speaking of Avowed, I need to get back into it so I can finish my mage playthrough." So Vontae, you a mage? I expected you to be a warrior type, a barbarian, like with a sword and shield.
You know, I should have followed my golden rule. Vontae would go with the warrior first.
That's always the default.
Yeah.
That's always the default. Yeah.
Because then I wouldn't feel bad about like I could have just reset my game and went as a mage. I wouldn't have felt bad about that. But since I'm in it as a mage, because there's some stuff that I got, that I did that I wish I did not do now. But you know, I do have some money now though, so that's good.
Yeah, my money is slowly building up now too.
I got about 60,000, 70,000.
Oh, that's good.
And I haven't even sold anything. So I mean, on that level, I have a bunch of stuff I can sell. so I'm gonna go sell it. So,
Oh
and then
man, you've been hoarding then. Yeah, I sold my stuff ages ago.
yeah,
I buy lock picks all the time. Like I'm obsessed with that. Like if
That's what they say. You have to do that, right?
man, every time I see somebody, I be like, where your lock picks? That's the first
How
thing
much
I
do you
do.
have?
Bro.
Let's compare. How much do you have? How many lock picks do you have?
Yeah, I'll buy them all every single time. I've been spending money just buying lock picks all the time. I don't care who it is I visit.
I do it
Sometimes you
too.
run into those.
When you scrounging for money, I was buying them. So I have like 110 lock
Yeah,
picks.
you start building up on them things,
Yeah.
man, because you become obsessed in that game. Like I've become paranoid to not have lock picks. So like I'm always trying to look at any merchant. Sometimes you get these merchants that don't stay around for long, right? Those guys, I'll try to sometimes you can't like they're like underground sellers or something, whatever. I don't know how to call it, like black market types.
Right.
And yeah, the one guy, it was only one guy I couldn't buy from because I forgot it was some selection I said in the voice stuff, and
Right.
I don't know, he got suspicious of me and he would not let me buy after that. So I was darn it. I don't know what he had either. He had some contraband stuff on him. I don't know.
Oh
what
yeah,
he
yeah,
had.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I said something to him, and after that, he would not sell to me.
Yeah. Sometimes some of those choices, it matters.
Yeah,
I had the same problem with this one guy. He was out in the open, and I said something like, "Also, like exactly like you said, also, what is this stolen?"
Mhm.
And then he was like, "Oh no," and then he left.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, and then they'll disappear because that they're not permanently there.
No.
So yeah, so I don't know what this guy had, but the little crowd he had there was all like interested in what he had. So I don't know what he had. I was like, dang, yeah, nothing I did. Every time I tried to talk to him, he would not sell nothing to me. So I missed out on that. Okay, Vontae says the curse of splitting time between a dozen games. That's true. Two
Yeah.
man.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No.
I'm just gonna read two man's statement. He said, other Zinc Dia is probably on that PS5 Pro and not got time to play it. Oh my gosh, are you guys claiming I bet you have a PS5. I don't have one. I wouldn't need one anyway. I could get their games off of PC.
Yeah, I gave
Better
up.
versions on top of that.
Last PlayStation I had, told man, was PlayStation 3.
Yeah.
That was the last one.
A Pro, are you out of your mind? I'll be getting me a new graphics card or something. I wouldn't get that.
Oh, here he is. Hey, sorry, brother. I got you now.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you coming in?
Great.
I got you. Sorry, I was off on the. I was looking at this tab for Sega. That's why.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm coming in here steamy, real steamy. I'm hot. I'm really hot. I'm hot. Ooh, I'm hot and bothered. Feel bothered and hot.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm telling you right now. Hi, Dia.
Hello, he's
How are you, my love?
I'm pretty good. How about yourself? I haven't seen you in a little bit.
Well, to be honest, now that I hear your voice, I'm much, much better.
Look at that charmer. You hear that?
You dog, you dirty bastard. Get out of here. No, I'm just so heated with all these things and these narratives I see and not being able to sit down and address them because, oh my God, I can't stand
what
it.
are they saying? Because I can't even talk much on it because to me, the Xbox side has been dead quiet. Them people been playing games constantly.
Yeah. I mean, they giving us nothing but reason. It's like Sega Forever would say, they damn near dropped like 100 games in the last 2 months.
That's what I'm saying, and I don't see nobody saying that because they busy playing games. They talking about one game or another, or So yeah,
that's a fact. And I'm gonna say this right now. I'm playing Split Fiction with my son. Another fucking incredible game.
Okay, so it is good. Okay.
Holy mother of God, this game! I'm telling you, this man understands what the essence of gaming is. There's no ball. There's no. It's just straight up gaming. You know what I'm saying? It's a story. It has cinematic moments. But it's about the games, the gameplay mechanics. I think I'm seeing stuff in the game that I've never seen before done in a game. His
Wow.
ideas, his creativity, his heartfelt warmth that he has for the project. You could tell that all the people there love what they're doing, right?
Okay.
And then my son pointed out something really, really interesting. He said it's only an 80 people team, right? And I'm starting to think that maybe having less people on a development project and less cooks in the kitchen, so to speak, like the saying goes, I
Mm-hmm.
think that is what gives you the opportunity to create something solid,
I agree
something
with that.
different, something unique, something creative. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
And I'm not gonna say nothing because I'm not gonna spoil it. Hell no, I'm not. I want you guys to enjoy it. I want you guys to go out there and buy it and play it. And if you don't want to buy it, if you can, I'll more than gladly play it over and over again and do it with a friend's invite and play it with you guys. I don't have a problem
Awesome.
because the game lets you play it with anybody, even somebody on PlayStation. That's how they did
Oh,
it.
oh, okay, okay.
Joseph Ferris is a very, very. He'll probably go down as one of the best or greatest developer of this generation. To be honest with you,
Awesome.
I think so. I think so. I mean, he hasn't missed Brothers, A Way Out, It Takes Two, and now this. They're all spectacular, and they're so much fun. And that's the key word: fun. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
They don't overstay their welcome. Games are unique. The games are, very, very creative, very intuitive. I love it. I love it. I just wanted to say that before we get into the tangent that I'm gonna get into as well. But yeah. So how you guys doing, by the way? First and foremost, how you guys been since I haven't spoke to you? My
It's been
brother from another mother in Hawaii over there, and you, my lovely lady companion here in Gaming Street. How you guys been?
I've been pretty good. I've been squeezing in gaming a little bit here and there where I could because I'm still working on my house.
Very
Getting
nice.
yeah, getting it ready for sale. So I think you know about that. So yeah, but
You're trying to sell your home?
yeah, and we doing the whole house, like fixing it up, getting it ready for sale.
Oh, okay, okay. You're gonna get into something else, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we moving to another
All
state.
right.
So
But
yeah,
for
so
the better, I hope, right?
oh yeah, it's nothing bad. So
Okay,
yeah.
okay. For the better, as long as for the better, that's fantastic. Now, if you're telling me I'm selling my house because we're doing bad and we have to move into a smaller, but I'm gonna feel real bad. You know what I mean?
Oh no, that's not us. Yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's great. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. That's
I
good
guess
to hear.
same reason for you. You're looking for something better. Remember that beautiful house
Oh
you
yeah.
showed us the time?
Oh yeah.
I still remember that house.
Oh yeah. 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 But now we're
Uh-oh. Did we
Oh, he'll
lose?
be back. He'll
Oh,
be back.
okay.
I just gotta
All
keep
right.
it on. I gotta make sure they stay on the screen.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I'll try to look out. I'll put the private chat up so I can see if
It's kind of funny. He's talking about that. I was like, oh, I was about to tell him, I was like, oh, the commander in chief keeping me on my toes from my job. That's the only thing I've been. That's what I've been busy with.
Yeah, yeah.
Coming up with
It's
my 5 bullet points. Yeah.
so
So
you
that's
have been playing, like you have made time to play those, right?
yeah, because I'm trying to just like unlimited, like I shouted him out in that other video I did. I was like, yeah, you're right, bro. We should be playing our games, not
Yeah.
not focus on. Yeah, because and there's some stuff going on, but like you said, right? I don't really care for IGN, so I'm gonna have to watch it eventually. I was hoping it would pop up on Xboxes, on Xbox.
Yeah, that's what I was
YouTube.
hoping. Yeah, but they didn't do it. So,
Yeah, they didn't.
look, Xbox, I hope if you guys see this one day, please, for the love of all that's holy, don't force us to look at IGN.
Well, I don't think I think one of the things is they'll do that because and I know reasons, of course, but Tina Amini came from IGN.
I know, and I know everybody over there is not bad.
Yeah.
She's actually pretty good,
Oh yeah, she was
but I
always
don't like IGN. I don't like them.
yeah.
I
Me neither.
don't trust them. I don't think that they are Xbox gamers. So what is the point of me watching them? Like, like I don't buy for 1 minute that they actually sit down and play Xbox games.
No, yeah. I don't think I question what games they do play at all. You know what I'm saying?
If they play any is PlayStation game, that's what I believe. Now I think they probably are playing Xbox games now because number one, they're showing up on the PlayStation platform and stuff, and two, because they ain't got nothing else to play. So I think because of those two reasons, they probably playing Xbox games. But I don't think they are Xbox gamers. So look, and they certainly can't tell me about a PC game. So like they don't offer me nothing
Yeah.
over there. So it's and I don't trust their reviews. I don't trust that the fact that when they claim to be certain gamers, I don't believe them. I just don't. So I don't like when Xbox is constantly trying to funnel me over there to IGN. Why? Why are you working hard for IGN?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just one of those things that, again, one of the little things, the little things that Xbox does.
And,
Yeah.
and I hope they be careful a bit with how many people they bring in house from IGN. Look, I know it's some good people over there, but I hope they be careful with that because you don't want to flood your own platform with too many of them people because we know how they are.
I think we'll be safe because most of those guys are already with Sony. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think
Right.
they'd even come over if they were given a chance.
Okay.
Like, even Ryan McCaffrey, I think he wouldn't even if Microsoft or Xbox offered him something, I don't think he would do it.
Okay.
Which is a good thing in my opinion.
It is good. Let them stay over there.
You stay over there, bro. No, we don't need you guys over here. Mark Cerny got Heba. That's what he said.
Oh, you say he got abducted, huh?
I felt bad because I could hear him breaking up. So
Yeah, I heard him. Yeah.
uh,
Hopefully he gets somewhere where it's stable. He's probably on his phone because he mostly calls on from his phone.
yeah. Vontae says, last place I'll ever get a gaming opinion from is IGN. Straight up, Vontae.
Thank you, Vontae.
They used
I
to be
just don't
pretty
trust
good. Their pop culture actually used to be pretty good. That's why their gaming stuff sucked, right? Because they had these pop culture guys talking about gaming. But their pop culture guys used to be on point, but now they're trash all the way around. Hey, brother. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Heba, you there?
Oh, there. Uh-oh.
Yeah, can you guys hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
now we can.
All right, what was the last thing you guys heard me say? I was talking.
You were steaming. You wanted to get your opinion out
You
there.
were just about to go on a rant after playing.
Oh yeah. No, but I was saying that as long as you were moving in for the better. Remember you said something about that?
Oh, you're breaking up, brother. What was that again?
Give me a sec.
Yeah. Yeah, Zink says, I don't trust
Let me
any-
know if you guys hear me.
That's why Tina left. Oh, that's good.
Oh, that's why Tina left. Oh, okay. They probably didn't appreciate her because she's like a genius with that. With how she makes those shows
Hello?
and everything.
Yeah, definitely.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can hear.
you sound like you're like far away though to me. That's
Sound like far away, you said?
yeah.
Yeah, you're kind of breaking up too, brother.
I should be in a few minutes. Hold up.
Okay.
All right.
I'm in the elevator.
Oh, well, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, that probably block them.
Oh boy. Fourth floor, going down.
Dang, the Nikon Direct was like 38 minutes.
Really?
Yeah, I like Nikon.
I like Nacon too. I got the RoboCop game.
I'm thinking about doing just watching the showcase. I heard they had some good announcements.
Did they? Oh, okay. I didn't have time. Nacon.
Yeah, Two Man says, Bot is like, welcome back, Potter. That's a throwback to it, man. You're telling your age with that joke.
Yeah, I have to look at that a little bit later.
Which one?
Nacon's show. Yeah. Look like they had quite a few games. They did pretty good. Because they tend to make like AA games. Oh, wait a minute.
They've been like every other place.
They got a DLC for RoboCop?
Huh?
Oh.
You guys hear me now?
A little bit, yeah.
It's a little bit. Dang.
I mean, I can hear you, but it's too muffled.
It's muffled, yeah.
It sounds muffled.
It was better for a second. You sounded clear and loud for a second.
Now it sounded muffled again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell? Okay, what the-
Pepe. Pepe, what's deepest fear? I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that is either. Is that anything like Dollhouse?
If you don't mind letting us know. I mean, I can look it up too, but I can't do too many things at one time, Pepe. I might shut down this podcast. I almost shut down the podcast once. Press the wrong box, and it was like,
If
"You
we
want
all
to go?"
disappear, Pepe, forgive us.
Yeah, sorry, it's me.
Uh,
I need a producer. If my son was here, I'd tell him, "Hey, can you run this for your dad?"
Still nothing. How about now? Better?
that sounds
Yeah,
better.
that's better. That's better.
No, better.
Better than
All
before.
right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. You got it? Very, very, very fucking sick and tired of seeing this freaking. Oh, console wars are over. Like, listen. First and foremost, there's a difference between console warring and calling out bullshit.
Yeah.
Because it's a very big difference. And listen, tell me what when you do an interview, right, with Peter Moore, with people are supposed to be been in the industry and know doing things for as long as they have, and yet they knew nothing. And the whole interview was to try to set him up to see what Peter Moore's thoughts was on Xbox bringing exclusives to PlayStation. What was the point of that? Or talking about how good Nintendo Switch is. Like, bro, those two dudes, Pena and Paris, they get me so angry.
Oh,
Because
Pena said
they,
that? Wait,
go ahead,
Pena,
what?
Pena said that?
But dude, the whole conversation is then trying to lead up to that, setting it up to see what he thought about that. And then people took out of context about what he said, that if Microsoft, had a choice of not making consoles, they wouldn't. When he was talking, what? When he's talking, yes, but is that the one you're going to? Which one you want to go to? When the whole, what he was trying to allude to was that due to the fact that now gaming has become so expensive, right?
Right.
And the games don't sell as well because everybody's doing or paying attention more, especially the younger gamers, to the streaming stuff, like the gas games, the pay as you go, the games like like Fortnite and whatnot, right? That it's an industry that's not safe, but if you can bring out your games to more people without having to rely only on that box to get to them with less cost and more efficiency in software, making more money, then it would be the better choice, especially now, because most people don't buy games the way they used to, right? And then they took that completely out of context, like trying to say Microsoft don't want to make consoles when that's never been said. You see what I'm saying? And that's never been the idea, because the reason for consoles to exist is so anyone can play at a low entry level at a good quality, not just through a streaming, because when you play a game natively versus streaming, it's never the same experience. It's never going to be the same experience. The bit rate and the latency is too predominant, and it doesn't give you a good experience. You need to have a hardware set-top box in order to play those games, even if it's digital or physical. That's the only way you're going to get. It's like a movie. When you watch it through Netflix, you're not getting the full quality as when you buy it on a fucking disc that's bit for bit, 1000% uncompressed with the 100% quality of 4K resolution or Dolby Atmos surround or HDR Dolby Vision, right? You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
It's like the same way of when people would say, oh, 1080p versus 4K, it's the same thing. It's no different. That's just bullshit. That's bullshit hype, especially when the PS4 couldn't and didn't jump into the 4K realm or seen first like the way Xbox did. And I said, clear as day, until you don't see it, you're not going to be able to know that it's different. That's why you're saying that, because you can't you can't. There's one in here and the one down there. You can't you can't see the quality or the difference through just a regular image on YouTube or through a streaming, because mainly YouTube and streaming, mainly their output is 1080p, right? For most things. You see what I'm saying? Hello?
No, yeah, we could.
You got to hear me? You get what I'm trying to say?
Yep.
So it's the same idea, right? I'm looking at this damn interview. These guys didn't even know half the things that he did. He was telling them, and they're agreeing with him, like shaking their heads, like, yes, man. Like trying to act like they knew, but yet they didn't know. And it pisses me off because I guarantee you, if somebody like myself or freaking Sega Forever did the interview, right, with the experience that we have,
Right.
people will realize that these guys that sort of so-called in the know, or the guys that have been around the street for so long, they're a fucking joke. And their representation is horrible, especially when it comes to like them saying, oh yeah, we're Xbox strong, and yet they don't even know how to represent Xbox. You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, those guys are clowns.
You see what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
and
even believe that they're Xbox. I just think they say that sometimes.
well, no, they were Xbox when Xbox was cool, right? Because
Oh.
Peter Moore even said something I said for many years. He said that was killed gaming is social media, even though social media is a very good thing. And that's a fact. Social media has allowed too many people to have a voice that are not responsible and don't know what the hell they're talking about, and they ruin the experience for everybody else. They've even fear-mongered other people, like developers and Xbox execs themselves, because they listen to, oh, wait, but you guys ain't doing this, and then they go and react and become reactive instead of counter-reactive, right? And that's bad, because when you do that, then that means, you know, you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Focus on what your plan is and what you have in mind in the first place. You can't do that. You have to focus. And that's one of the reasons why Nintendo has had success with the Switch. Because no matter what, they stay on their view and focus. They don't move. They don't move the needle. They just, we're going to do us, and that's it. You see what I'm saying? But when you're constantly changing during a generation, well, we're going to do this now. Now we're going to do that. Now we're going to do this. Because you're reacting to the media that doesn't give a fuck. And it's otherwise. What is it? You're reacting to the media that don't really give a fuck because they're a bunch of fucking Sony shit or Sony promoters. Or you're reacting to all these dumb airheads that are, Sony fanaticals that don't want nothing but bad Xbox, or to push bad Xbox negative news so they can get all this viewership, because that's what brings them views, right? Because it's popular to hate Xbox. You know what I'm trying to say? And then they say what they say, and then they react to it. They're not reacting to the actual fan base, which is what me and Sega have been saying forever. You're not reacting to the fans and what the fans want. You're reacting to what everybody else that doesn't give a fuck is pushing. You see what I'm saying?
That's pretty much pop culture in a nutshell right now.
Absolutely. But in this forum, we're talking about Xbox. There's no console support. Look, anytime that we've talked about Sony, it's not been just for console warring, even though it is a form of console warring. It's been to call out the bullshit that they do, like the fact that they always pay for third-party exclusives to not be on an Xbox console, like the fact that they don't own the IPs, they don't pay for funding. Meanwhile, when Microsoft does it, right, Microsoft will pay for the funding, they will pay for the marketing, they will help the publisher completely, and then they'll do it time and only to have it on Xbox for a few months or a year, and then it goes everywhere else. And yet, the first thing you hear from people say is, "Oh, Xbox is just horrible. They want to just monopolize everything. They think they can own everything. They go do whatever they want because they got money." When Sony does the same exact crap, Nintendo does the same exact crap with third party. You know how many third party games that come out, especially from the Asian market, that are not out on Xbox and is only exclusive on PlayStation or on Nintendo for that matter? Because they pay for that exclusivity. But the difference is they don't pay for the funding. They don't publish it. They're just hoping and paying for it to be on their console. That's it.
Yeah, that's the only way they know how to fight Xbox. They have
Right.
no leverage in
Right.
the other. And that's
Right.
why they're going to keep doing that until, as we're starting to see, like with the bigger publishers, they realize that that's not good for them. That's not good for them getting their games out in as many hands as possible. Because
Right.
with the market being what it is, people are much more tighter with what they spend their money on. They
Yeah,
can't afford.
wait till those terrorists hit.
But that's why. But that's why I'm saying that there's a difference between console war because there. Okay, a bunch of people out here there, as even the PC guys. Because again, this has nothing to do with you because I know you play on PC, but I'm talking about since 2013. Okay, everybody, and I mean everybody, from the PC media, all they did was push false narrative. Oh, Xbox this, oh, Xbox that, oh, Xbox this, oh, Xbox trying to push the camera on you because they want to spy on you. No, motherfucking dumb motherfuckers. The 360 created the Xbox Connect, right? As an added feature because Peter Molyneux from actual what's it called Lionhead Studios was doing a new Fable game that he wanted to implement those things, and he was one of the reasons why they even went forward with that technology and that piece of hardware, right? Because they wanted to do something different than what Nintendo was doing, even though it was popular, and that what Sony was doing with the moves. And so that peripheral became the highest selling peripheral of all times. Of all time. Right? From any other company. Okay, even going back as far as Nintendo with the Power Gloves and all that other shenanigans. So obviously, if something does well, what is the next smart step to do? Because Sony's done it, Nintendo done it. You create another iteration of that for your future hardware. You make it better. You unify it to see if it does even better and it's a better gaming experience altogether for the next generation, which is what they did with Xbox One. They put the Kinect in, and the Kinect was supposed to be unified with the console to give you a better experience, like being able to turn on your system by just simply giving it a command. Skimping and going through different apps, scanning in your codes when you buy code points to redeem point. When you had your anatomy motion and recognize your face when you would walk in, they would know who you are, would turn on the console. All types of different innovative things. That's why they created it. It wasn't to try to spy on nobody. And what did they do? They said, not even a year in, we're going to give you the option that we can take it out and you can use the Xbox without a Kinect. Because they saw that people were not gravitating and it was backfiring on them and kind of hurting them in that sense, right? And they did it. They took it out. A year later, after they were able to recode everything, the Xbox One worked without the Kinect, and anybody that wanted to use the Kinect can still use it. Even when they created the Slim model, what did they do? They gave you an option that you could connect the Kinect still and use it if you wanted to, right? Which Kinect gave you the ability to do all your streaming, which everybody does on PlayStation with the camera anyway, and on a PC with a camera anyway. It would give you the ability to be able to stream your games, in a higher resolution like 4K, through the way they were using it with Mixer, right? You were able to do a bunch of cool different things. Do the what they had that functionality, the split functionality that you could watch and play a game at the same time and watch something on the news or whatever to keep up with current events, whatever the case may be. The same way they pushed the damn fucking thing about Xbox is doing DRM when DRM existed on PC since the beginning of its fucking inception. And DRM on console started with the PS3, not Xbox. It was PS3. They started it. No one said anything. Microsoft tells people the truth of how they wanted their DRM to work because they wanted to help developers make more money and not get ripped off, and they wanted consumers not to get ripped off in stores like GameStop, Walmart, Best Buy, getting a game that they just bought yesterday resold for the $5 off, but yet when you give a trade-in value, they would give you like $12. So they were trying to eliminate that to help the consumers, right? And yet Nobody understood. And what happened before the console launch, the DRM functionality was taken off. You turned on the console and it told you do this update, and it was completely vanished. It didn't happen. But people kept on speaking about it like, oh, yes, they DRM. They don't let you own nothing. There's people I heard even to the end of the generation say, oh, yeah, I never bought an Xbox because they don't let you own your game. They're like, what? That never happened. Who told you that? Are you crazy? All these false narratives since 2013, all this hate, and the PC dudes getting mad because Xbox wanted them to buy their games through the Windows Store and not through the Steam Store, because through the Steam Store they could use Linux and fucking pirate the games, and they didn't want to do that, so they were pissed off until Microsoft changed it and they said, okay, you can buy it through Steam. Then everybody's all copacetic and happy. Well, we all know why, because a lot of the PC guys like to pirate games, even though they may act like they don't, but they do, right? I'm not saying all of them do, but a lot of them do. And that was a fucking issue. So now they want to be Mr. Kumbaya, we're happy, yeah, no, oh, no, there's no console. No, because none of yous were there since 2013, all the way to 2019, 2020, until now, defending Xbox. Even Xbox dudes that claim to be Xbox dudes, when Sony was bringing out games back to back that were AAA quality, meanwhile Xbox was rebuilding because they didn't have the liberty to actually, enjoy their laurels from Xbox One with their games, because everybody was saying their games were garbage, their games are trash. Even though it was the only console that launched with 12 exclusives, when Sony only had fucking Knack and that horrible Killzone Shadow, whatever the fuck it was called, which was horrendous. It was mediocre at best, right? They only had those two games. Meanwhile, Xbox launched with 12 exclusives, brand new, day in day, right? The only console with real games.
You know what's funny about that though?
Yeah.
If you look at number one, sorry, Sega Man, welcome, bro.
What's up, brother? What's up?
Oh,
Yeah, sorry,
Sega
Sega Man.
Man.
Shout yourself
Come
out.
on.
Shout yourself out. Brother.
What's up, man? It's your boy Sega Man coming in and joining the crew. What's going on, everybody? What we talking about tonight?
Is he talking?
Yeah, can you hear him?
No, I can't hear him.
Yeah, he's talking.
I don't
can't
know.
hear him. That's
Can
weird.
you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can't hear him. That's weird.
I can hear.
Yeah, I can hear you, Sega Man.
Oh,
Yeah?
I don't know. I can hear Hebot, but he can't hear me.
Oh, wow.
He
He
said
can
he
hear
can hear you. See, he can hear you.
Really? I can't hear him. He's talking?
Yeah.
Oh, that's odd.
Oh man,
You want to
Oh.
drop out and drop back in, or
Wait, talk again.
can you hear me?
I can hear you because I'm looking at the video in another window at the same time as I'm talking. That's how I can hear you.
Can you? Yeah, you can hear me now, though, right?
Yeah. Now I can hear you. Yeah.
oh, okay,
Good. What's going on, guys? What we talking about tonight? Some good stuff, huh?
Not much going on with Xbox, but figure we just throw a podcast together.
Yeah, cool. It's good to
Yeah.
see you, Dea. It's good to see brother Hebot, the most powerful gamer, Dea, our first lady of the chat.
It's always good to see you, Sega Man.
What you been playing? What you guys been playing, man? You know I beat that at Valve, man.
Yeah, I know. When you said that, I was like, "Dang, bro, I got a long
beat
way to
that
go."
already, bro. It's a great game. It's worth going back and playing again. Actually, that's how good the game is. It's actually worth going and playing over again.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
To be honest with you. Now I didn't beat it, guys, and get everything. I got stuff in the game, but I beat that. I beat that a while ago. It's a great game. I got addicted to it, and I'm blaming Unlimited Productions. You bum.
Let's just trash on him. It's his fault.
It is his fault, Dea. Man, I stayed on that game, Dea. I beat that. It's a beautiful, awesome game. They did a fantastic job on that game.
That's why nobody heard from you. You've been hiatus.
Yeah, man. When you get into a game like that, bro, it's just like when the other game comes out. That the South of Midnight.
Yeah, that's the game.
That I'm telling you, that's going to be another one.
What was your character, Sega Man? What did you play as?
Let me see if I remember. It was
Like a warrior? Or...
warrior. I was a warrior. Yeah, I was a warrior. I made my own character
Yeah,
and
that shit.
everything. But yeah, I was a warrior. I liked it. It was pretty cool. The people that followed you, they what's his name helped a lot. The dude that looked like he looks like the dude from Eternal Champions.
Yeah, Kai.
Kai, yeah.
Yeah,
So he really helped you out a lot in the game. He was like your main dude almost, you know what I mean? But it was really awesome. The girl was good. She had good powers. The little dude that looks like the dude from Golden Axe, he was cool.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, it was a great game, man. It was an awesome game. You know what I like? I like that character that had that goddamn skull face with flaming eyes.
Oh yeah, the Inquisitor guy.
Yeah, they had all that armor on, but I think it was a skeleton in armor.
Was he not the character that's in front of the cover?
I think he bought, because I know, I don't want to say nothing else about it because I don't know if you guys were playing the game, but he's one of the characters in it. But it's a really cool looking character, man. You can see the ray tracing pop out on a character. It was really nice, man. It was a wonderful game. I'm actually going to go back and play it over again. I'm going to start over.
You're talking about the look, right? But actually, that person is kind of a prick. For what I
yeah, it's like you're in
Yeah.
armor. It's a skull looking, like a skeleton in armor. You know, yeah, it's pretty cool though. It was cool, very creative, very colorful. The colors popped in there. It's a very creative game. That's what I like about Xbox, man, and the studios that they have under their wing. Every studio they have, guys, it's something different. They're very creative. That's what I like about that, man. It's something different for everybody, which is awesome, man. They do a fantastic job, man. They did a great job with Avowed. I am very, very satisfied with the game, man. Very awesome game.
How do you guys feel about the coral reef style? I guess tattoos or expenses that you could put on them on their face, based off the religions and stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
I thought it was okay personally.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I mean, I like that it's definitely, like I use this as an example, the show Heroes, right?
Yeah.
I hated that the first season because I'm like, dude, they're just copying X-Men. And then they came out with the second season. I was like, oh, you guys should go back to copying X-Men. That's how bad the second season was. I do appreciate that they have their own story, their own style.
Yeah.
And it makes sense in the game. I just like personally for my taste. Like some of the stuff I think they did was awesome. Some stuff I didn't really care for the art design. But it's not bad. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just personal choice. And they gave you enough options to kind of craft my character the way I wanted it to look. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was. What was your character? What's your character, Dea?
What do you mean, like how my character looked?
Yeah, what did you pick? Like, what character did you?
I don't know what it's called, but my character is a male, and I just saw him being a male in this story, and
okay.
And he has the fan type stuff, and then as far as the personality, he's the type that he's pretty honest about what he sees. Like when people says things, he kind of peers through what they're actually saying to get to the point, because people don't often say what they really mean, basically. And he often that's what I saw a lot in his choices, is that he had a lot of other ones that pop up too, but oftentimes in his choices it's like it bypasses a lot of the fluff to get to the point, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times I can push the story along, but my character is more on the compassionate side.
Oh, okay.
He let the assassin go and all that stuff, I'm not going to detail what happened after that.
Yeah.
But I heard some people describe that that they had a bad that the characters they were with had a bad outcome to that.
Yeah.
My characters didn't. It was like, there was like, that's very much like you and everything. And it was like, what you're doing is pretty nice, but you better, hope that nothing happens from that decision. But they were okay with it because it was consistent to how my character was.
Yeah.
And I find that right now at the point where I'm at in the story, okay, it's like his patience is running a little thin in his choices. So like I just know I can tell the shift in what I'm able to choose from. At first, it was a lot of patience and stuff there, but I don't know why my choices are getting to the point where he doesn't have a lot of patience for some of the stuff that's going on in the story at this point. And oftentimes when he says something, it's pretty direct and he's not being too delicate about it.
Yeah.
When I was in Paradise, he was, but now that I've left Paradise, he's not so much. So I don't know why the narrative has shifted with him. I don't know if it's something I selected or done, but yes, it's sort of shifted. And so far, what I found is that I'm playing with him and the dwarf guy, and Kai is the most useful character, like you said, because he tells me he's like guiding me through the battle every time. He said, watch your right. Like, I just
Yeah.
sometimes I don't even have to look. I can just go off of what Kai is telling me as he directs me in the battle, and I'm avoiding enemies. I'm able to maneuver and all that because I can't keep up with all of them. Some of them can appear behind you and all this stuff, and I fight what's in front of me, and I listen to Kai's direction to let me know about things I can't see. And that combination works very well for me.
Yeah.
Especially as a ranged character, because I try to let Kai get in close because I'm most suited to be at a distance, which is why the enemies I face often try to close in their distance very quickly. And some of those characters can do that. They might run at me so fast that before I know it, they're right up on me. And so right now I've been using a close weapon now because I can't rely on range as much. And I realized that the game was saying, hey, I know you're a ranged character, but kind of have a secondary too. It's the game is kind of pushing me in that direction because no matter what I do, they still close in on me, and I'm really weak up close. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I've been strengthening myself, but I got two weapons. I got an ice axe and a fire sword, and I've
Yeah.
been pumping those things up. I've been building up those weapons, see, and upgrading them and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
oh my gosh, they're so good. Those weapons are so good. I use that in a shield. That's all I need if they get up close to me.
Yeah.
And right now, the type of enemies I'm facing has required that I do that. Unfortunately, I can't do my range battling because it's based on the type of enemies I'm going up against. So yeah, but yeah, that's what I've been doing. I kind of like I think my next playthrough, if I do that, it's gonna definitely be like a warrior type. I enjoy that physical combat in
Yeah.
close. That's fun.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like, especially with that sword. I was really enjoying that. But yeah, that's basically how my game has been going. I've been experiencing everything is pretty good so far. My experience with the entity has been going along fairly well. I'm teaching. I think the entity is learning from my choices, whatever I select, because the entity, depending on what I say, I don't know. I can see it. I've seen this in other games before. I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I know for some of you guys who beat it, you probably already know. But I think that every time you have a dream with the entity and they ask you these questions and stuff, it's
Yeah.
forming something for the
Yeah.
end. I almost guarantee it because I'm like, why am I getting selections every time I talk to this thing? Every time, and they react completely off of what you say, like completely. So I wonder what it is I'm forming with this entity because I don't trust the entity 100%. So I'm wondering what's going on with this entity. But I've been very careful how I select my choices when it comes to talking to that thing. So, but I think it's building up to something at the end. I really do, because I'm like I've seen that pattern in other games, and it always means that the game is collecting that information for a reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, but that's what I wanted to share without spoiling anything. Okay, I hope I haven't spoiled anything.
No, that's why I was trying to tell Sega Forever like I was talking about the characters.
Hmm.
There's a one character in there that you guys gotta check out. Like I don't want to give nothing away too much, but it's a really bomb character. It just looks really cool
Oh, okay.
in the way they made the character. But what I wanted to ask Sega Forever and you, Dad, because we got you here, because I love your opinion. what do you think they about what's going on now with Xbox and we'll get Hebot, because me and Hebot talked about a little bit about these guys out here now that they got Forza Horizon 5, different things like that, and they know that they're going to be getting like Indiana Jones and all that. It's like a weird atmosphere now. Like they're trying to say like the PlayStation 5 or Pros is the new Xbox or just stupid crap. Like they're just saying different things now. You know, like when I made my video, I made that video just to clown them. Like I said, I thought you guys didn't like playing old games because right now you're playing an old game. You're getting an old game that
It's true. They are. Yeah.
which is Forza Horizon 5. You know what I mean?
They did a good video on the topic, but what they're trying to do is we're going to get your games and they're going to play better on our console because we have a pro.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
When that's not necessarily true, but go ahead, finish what you're saying.
And they have to pay. Like I think they're going to say, well, I think like Porter Rock and his brother, you know, they're just big trolls. They're not but trolls. They're like, man, they're like, I don't know how to explain those guys, man. They're like,
well, Porter Rock is a person that likes to concentrate on numbers. He thinks numbers is a bragging right, so he thinks console sales is a bragging right, right? When console sales without software sales is just, it's like oil inside water. They don't mix, right?
right.
And then his brother he wants to be down with whatever's cool, whatever's hip. So he went from Xbox to now I'm a PC gamer because PC is better than Xbox. Now back to PlayStation because PlayStation is getting all the Xbox games. Like he just wants to be down with whatever is in the how at that point. You know what I mean?
Right.
So he's a flip flopper. He's not dedicated. He not loyal to any brand. He doesn't understand gaming and the industry or the community or the culture. He's just he's there. He plays game, but he wants to be down with whatever's cool. He thinks, oh, I got to be with the cool crowd no matter what. That's what he is. That's what Dark Dot is.
Yeah, and real quick, and then I want to hear what you guys have to say. Like he says stuff like, well, I bought an Xbox, or everybody, I think, bought an Xbox Series X for the power, but there's no power no more. And I'm thinking, dummy, when the Xbox Series X came out at the time, it was the most powerful console. There was no PS5 Pro. So what are you talking about? You know what I mean? Like he's trying to say because the PS5 Pro is out, you know, it's a little bit more powerful than the Series X. But what he got to understand, at the time when the Series X came out, it was the most powerful console. They came out with
Sega man, I got a question for you.
Made it more powerful.
I got a question for you.
What's up?
The PS3 on paper was supposed to be more powerful than the 360, right?
Yep.
Was it?
No.
Okay, then there's your answer. What's on paper and what's in real world is not the same thing.
Yeah.
Because the PS5 Pro, all it is they upclocked the GPU.
Yep.
And they added their version of DSLS or R, whatever.
Yeah.
And which is FSR2 on the Xbox Series X, right? It's an equivalent to FSR2, and they're trying to say, oh no, it's an equivalent to FSR3 and 4, when that's not true, because the claim is that it's 16 teraflops as opposed to 12 like the Series X. Okay, teraflops alone can't do the work either, because they need all the other components for it to work, not just one component, right? It was like the PS3. It had all the other components that were more powerful than the 360, but it didn't have the most important component that it needed, which was more dedicated RAM. It only had 4 megs of dedicated RAM. The 360 had 536 megabytes of dedicated RAM at that time. So that's why it destroyed it in every way, as far as performance and frame rates and things of that nature, right? The PS5 Pro, the Pro is going to give you the ability to have more foliage, maybe better ray tracing, maybe more textures, right? Or quality textures. But what it's not going to do is it's not going to stabilize the frame rate. It's not going to give you better frame rate. It's not going to give you better resolution, right?
Right.
On Xbox, you're going to have better performance in the frame rate department and resolution because the Xbox is a CPU-driven hardware machine, right? It's the CPU that allocates most of the work. It's not the GPU. And because of this, that's why you saw those results in Space Marine 2, right? On the PS5 Pro, it still wasn't running better frame rate wise than the Series X, right? On top of that, the PS5 Pro doesn't have a good online ecosystem when you play online. The Xbox Series X does, because it has dedicated servers for free for any developer that chooses to use it. On top of that, the Xbox Series X has Dolby Atmos surround, which gives you an enhanced surround that you're not going to hear and find anywhere. And I'm telling you, if you have the right surround sound, it is like night and day. The PS5 Pro sounds like dog shit compared to the Series X.
I hear you.
And on top of that, they have placed the Xbox Series X has compatibility with DirectX 12 Ultimate. The PlayStation 5 is not compatible. They are Vulkan based. On top of that, the Xbox Series X also has Dolby Vision HDR, which is 12 million nits higher than Dolby HDR 10, which is what the PS4 Pro and the PS5 Pro supports. They have Dolby Vision HDR, which means the black and white levels and the contrast levels in the games look spectacular. They're like night and day compared to each other. And then lastly, they don't have DLI on the controller, which is direct latency input, which is giving you the ability to have the lowest input lag in history on a controller, on a console, playing a game, which the PlayStation 5 Pro also doesn't support. So again, we need to stop this dumb shit. The PS5 Pro had to be made so it can compete with the Xbox Series X, because the PS5 Pro is what they actually needed to continue on for the rest of the generation, because the PlayStation 5 by itself is lacking. It's a 9.1 or 9.8 teraflop machine with none of those other attributes. It's not DirectX 12 compliant. It doesn't have the ability to do ray tracing out of the box or built in the box. It was firmware updated, just like the FSR was firmware updated. It's not real RDNA 2, right? None of that shit. Okay? That's all these donkeys talk. I just want to slap them in the fucking face, because they're all fake. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Okay? I do, because I got both machines. I run both machines at the highest quality because I have a surround sound and a TV and components that I need to run the games at the highest volume and the highest quality. My son's fucking $200 or $2,500 PC doesn't even compare to what I run on the Xbox with my OLED. And he even said, "So damn, the games look so much better. I can't believe that shit." Okay?
Yeah.
He couldn't fuck with the tiles and choose frame rate over, resolution. Yes, he can do that. But I don't need to do that to have a good gaming experience. Indiana Jones, 60 frames, 4K native with dynamic resolution, which means it'll drop here and there when it needs to so that it won't lose performance. It has global illumination. It has fucking ray tracing components, aspects of it, right? Which, by the way, ray tracing is nothing new, because ray tracing was on the Xbox One with Tomb Raider. And if you guys don't know, go do your fucking research, go do your homework, go look at it, because it's been there since fucking the Xbox One Pro and the Xbox One Pro, or the Xbox One, X.
Xbox One X.
Yes, right. It's been there since then, right? But these donkeys want to act like, oh no, you couldn't do that before. Yes, it was. Okay, just like Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5, that's another thing. The PS5 Pro and regular don't support real VRR, variable refresh rates. It doesn't really support it. It was implemented through firmware, meaning it's a fucking update. It is not built in the hardware like the Xbox Series X. That is why Phil Spencer said we don't need to make a mid-gen cycle fucking console, because the X is future-proof.
Yep.
You understand? So when they say that, and then to compare and say, oh, Forza's going to run better on the PS5 Pro when the game's not even out, is fucking retarded, when they already said that it's going to give you the ability to play 4K 30, which is the same way it runs on the Xbox, right? Or in performance mode is, I think it's 1440p at 60. But the difference is on Xbox, you could also run it on 120 at 1440p.
Yeah.
You get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
So again, and they don't have better HDR, which HDR is a game changer. It makes a completely different look at your games. If you play the Xbox on OLED with HDR 12 that's compatible with the VRR, bro, we won't be having these discussions anymore. It gets me mad because most people can't do it and can't afford it, which I understand. But to sit there and say, oh, yeah, no, it's going to look better when you don't have the right components to run your console the way it was meant to be run with all the abilities and the tech that Microsoft implemented in the hardware, don't talk because you're saying something stupid. Now, see these motherfuckers show their TVs, they got a fucking TCL that's only 4K that don't support no HDR, no variable refresh rate, no Dolby Atmos surround. They have no fucking clue what they're talking about. You do not know. You just don't. You do not know. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that gets me so fucking angry. Stop talking, and because Digital Foundry's not gonna point none of that out. When Digital Foundry talks, they don't point none of that shit out. They never mention the VR. They never mention how Xbox does Dolby Atmos surround, how Xbox has Dolby Vision, and they never mention how Xbox has the better online fit. If you're playing online, you want the best experience, whether it's racing, fighting game, a component, a V1v1, a fucking Call of Duty style game shooter. It's gotta be at the best with the best ecosystem, which is with dedicated servers, not peer-to-peer. PlayStation still does peer-to-peer. Xbox has free dedicated servers for every developer. The developer doesn't use it because they chose not to use it. Okay? Every fucking game can use the free dedicated servers, which is superior to peer-to-peer. So stop saying that you're having a better experience on PS5 because you're not. That's a lie. That's a fucking lie. And they also don't have direct input latency input on the controller. It's on Xbox that you got the best latency input because it's implemented on every controller. You could even firmware update your old Xbox One controllers.
Yeah.
So the technology could be there. It probably won't work as accurate, but it still is an implementation of it. Okay? So like, oh my fucking God, I cannot stand this community. I cannot stand these fucking people. They're not fucking real. They're fucking fake. They act like they fucking don't remember shit. Like, bro, that shit has never went away. The same way PlayStation is doing that stupid where you can finance a goddamn PlayStation and pay for it slowly in different markets that they put, right? That's Xbox All Access, you stupid fuck. Microsoft did that first and they got chastised for it when that was a good value for consumers. You literally bought the fucking thing. You paid $27 or $37 a month because you got Xbox All Access. Xbox Game Pass Ultimate, which includes online and Game Pass, right? The full version of it for 2 years, no interest. And once you finish paying it, it was completely yours. You paid no interest. And if you didn't pay it at the end of the term, then you paid the interest. In this fucking program that those motherfuckers are doing, you get that shit. You pay it, and if at the end of the term you didn't pay it off, they'll fucking take away the console from you, and you cannot get your money back. And nobody's talking about it the right way. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Microsoft has done everything first, and motherfuckers didn't want to acknowledge it. And as soon as PlayStation, they want to give them the fucking credit. No, go fuck yourselves, you fucking faggot. Y'all all fucking gay. And yeah, I said it. Y'all all fake and gay. Because that's homosexual shit. That you're disingenuous, you want to act like a girl instead of acting like a man with balls in between your legs. Okay? That is fucking homo shit. Be real. Be real with the community. You guys don't deserve the viewership. You don't deserve the support. Y'all don't deserve shit. Y'all all fake, and y'all know who y'all are. I don't have to mention everybody from Reforge Gaming to Cole to everybody. I'll mention all of them because I know they all fake. All of them. All of them. They're all fucking fake. Okay? And that includes Paris. That includes fucking Danny Pena. All the motherfuckers are fake. All they're trying to do is be slick and push negative Xbox to get opinions from everybody to show how other people feel if Xbox is stupid or dumb because they're doing what they're doing. Obviously, Microsoft is doing what they got to do to keep the fucking business flowing.
That's
They're
right.
about money. That's it. They're about money. That's it. I don't give a fuck about no Porter Cock. Don't give a fuck about no Dark Doc, no Trash Gaming, or fucking no goddamn fucking J-Dubs, Next Gen, whoever the fuck. They're all fucking fake. All of them. Every single one of them. Even Tim Dog fucking bit into that bullshit. Okay? The only niggas out here that are real is the ones that you've been seeing for years on this panel, on 100's panel, even on 108's panel, okay? And other people like New Legal. These are the real motherfuckers that don't get the support. These are the real people that actually give a fuck about Xbox and gaming and the culture, because it's a culture. We built it. We supported it. We made it what it is today because it was looked at as something antisocial, or like you were you had a problem, or you even Cena Moore mentioned it, or you were a devil worshiper, or your kid has some type of mental issues. Gaming was looked at as it was a fucking piece of joke, or in the fucking way. It was never looked at as an artistic value or something that's actually, creative and important to the industry. And now it makes more money than even movies. Okay? And nobody cared now because it's cool. Everybody want to be part of it. No, that's how it works. Screw all of you. That's how it works. I don't care. And that's why I have a very small circle around me, because I know people don't like me because I say what I say, but I don't care. I'm not going to be fake. I got to be fucking real. I can't do it. It drives me insane. I can't do it. I can't. I hate the fucking fakeness in this community. I can't stand them. I just can't. And then you saying, the people that should be saying that are like, let's say, are in the comments and support, they don't say nothing. They're the ones that should be saying them and calling them out.
Yeah.
These people got a platform, got actual subscribers, got a party chat, got a fucking GoFundMe. They got all types of shit, and you don't see them. None of them giving back to the community. You don't see them doing fucking goddamn giveaways. You don't see them giving people that support them for years, giving them Xboxes, games, none of that shit. None of that shit. But they still get supported. So where did I go wrong? What am I missing here? Because I don't understand that, because me being a small platform, and many of us, we have given back. We have tried to do nice things to the extent of what we could able to do because we're small. So where is it? Where's the missing link that I don't see? I don't get it. I don't get it. No, the PS5 Pro is not better than the Xbox Series X. It's not.
I already told you a lot of time, dude. You're too honest. That's the problem.
Oh well.
When you're honest, yeah. I'm not saying that I appreciate that about you, but when you're honest, dude, you're not. That's one of the reasons why I can't watch these people either, man, because they're dishonest. They kiss ass. I can't do that. And people like, they'll tell people what they want to hear.
Yeah.
So
You're right, Sega Forever. That's exactly what they do. I remember watching a show you did with Dea, and I like Dea for calling. I forgot who it was, but she called this dude out that was in the chat, because he was trying to show me something. He was trying to say something about Xbox, and she said, "If you don't know what you're talking about, you need to be quiet." You know what I mean? And I like that she did that, because it's true. Because a lot of these people come on here and come on the platform, and they don't know what the hell they're talking about, man.
You weren't here earlier, Sega Man. I kind of ranted about it.
Yeah.
Because one of the things I was looking at, that's why I wish Microsoft would be a little bit more, adjust the system.
Yeah.
It's something that's a problem. I wish they would say stuff a little bit more.
Yeah, it would be nice if they did Sega Forever, and it would be nice if they did do that. You know what I mean? It really
look,
what's pissing me off? What's pissing me off is that you got these guys, PC guys included, right? That they're doing videos talking about people like Dark Doc, Reforge, saying, "Oh, look, they're laying down the business." Like, yo, these guys are saying the truth. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, bro, these dudes, no, they have no fucking clue what they're saying. They're just a bunch of opportunists and took that opportunity to make some money on their channel. But they don't care. They don't care about the product. Thank you, boss. Thank you, boss. They don't care about the product. They don't care about the culture. They don't care about right or wrong. They don't care about why decisions are made. They just don't give a fuck. Yeah. Right? They'll sit there with a straight face and try to act like, "Oh, yeah, we care. Yeah, we're bored of it." When do you see them put gameplay?
When do you ever see Dark Doc putting up gameplay unless he's trying to do a tech comparison about how his PC runs shit, right?
Yeah.
Or when you see, King Thrash or dumbass, Porter Rock, right? Putting gameplay, or Reforge Gaming putting game. No, just talk about yourself.
Is it me?
Meanwhile, I'm putting Mac games. I put all types of shit on my channel, and I get like 2 views. Oh, go fuck yourself. I can't. That's because you don't want gamers. They want fake motherfuckers. They want gossip. They all act like they got totos and pussies between their legs. That's what they want. Gossip is for women. Leave that to the women. Stop. That's not for men. And that's what drives me crazy. I cannot stand that shit.
Hey, Hebot, I'm losing you. You're coming in muffled again.
Sorry. Give me a second.
Yeah. No worries. I mean, so Sega man, like I was saying, I don't expect Phil Spencer to come on and just go score sheriff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just a little bit more of an acknowledgement on some of this stuff. And again, I know, look, these guys are loaded, so I'll just go with that at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it because they have the money to do whatever they want. So
Did you what Google Post said there, that's very true. I don't really know what is going to happen with PlayStation with that. Last of Us 3, I was really shocked. I thought for sure that they was going to do that, and the fact that they're not doing that is shocking.
I wasn't surprised, just for the simple fact that they've already talked about doing online gaming, because that's where all the money is. I mean, Microsoft talks about it. Even Nintendo, once in a while, touches on it. They just haven't figured out how to apply it to what they want to do. But as far as Xbox, I mean, that's where Xbox is getting a lot of their bread and butter. Again, I play COD, and they're going full out, man. This is like they got Ninja Turtles. They just had Terminator.
Yeah.
They got
Oh
Squid
yeah.
Game.
Oh yeah.
So I was playing. They got my money for Squid Game. They're gonna get my money for Terminator, but I've been distracted by Avowed. But they got Ninja Turtles in there right now, and then next month they're gonna do something huge.
I mean, you heard about that Starfield? I think they got another DLC or something coming.
Yeah.
I don't know.
RoboCop does too, right? Or is
I'm
there a new RoboCop has a new game coming, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's an expansion, but they're treating it like a separate thing.
Oh,
Nice.
cool.
Yeah. But they're selling it separate. But I think it's like $20 or something like that. It's not expensive.
That's not bad. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
it's not expensive. And also, what I was going to say there, because I heard your question, but I don't know if you guys heard me, or your statement, actually, what you were saying. The reason why they're not going in on Last of Us 3 is because Last of Us 2 did horrible. It didn't do well.
Oh.
It didn't do well. It didn't do well because what do you think what they thought they were going to get when they killed off the main character? To concentrate on a girl character in the game that's really like supposed to be a tranny, and then on Ellie's character. The main character was Joel, and you killed them all. What do you think is gonna happen? You don't kill the main character. That's like killing off Marcus Phoenix. People were mad when they killed Dom. So imagine Marcus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the game didn't do well. The game tanked. They're not gonna invest in that. They're just gonna go on, move forward, concentrate on the new stuff like that game they're trying to do now in space with that ball-headed, I think, Asian girl, right?
And what's that? I forgot what that's called. Yeah, that game.
Intergalactic or something like that. It's called some shit like that. Right. They're gonna concentrate on that and see where that leads them off. But they're done. Last was done. Even the TV show, they were concentrating more on that on the TV show than because in the TV show he even changed things that he did in the game. And when they asked him why he did that, he said, because that's what I really wanted to do in the game and didn't get a chance to do it. That's what he said. So he even did shit like that. He changed the lore. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
So all those things it's going to aggravate and piss off the fan base. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like when I saw that She-Ra cartoon that they did on Netflix, and they made her and Catra lovers when Catra's supposed to be her arch enemy. I'm like, what the fuck is this? It's not She-Ra. What the hell? So they were more worried about, like I said, doing that DEI shit than actually making a good game or a good TV show.
Exactly.
And that's where you're gonna go wrong. You can't disrespect the fan bases. The fan base is what made your product popular to begin with. So how you think you can disrespect them, their feelings, their taste after they made it popular by you doing whatever the hell you felt like doing and changing it to offend them or to get them angry? Like, no, that's not how that works. You can't be doing that. So you're just setting yourself for failure every time, and that's exactly what they did. And then they're trying to blame the fans. Oh, they didn't support it. Yeah, because you didn't do what they wanted. You messed it up. It is what it is. Like, I don't get that. Why the Simpsons had so much success for 30-something years and still going? Because the Simpsons has kept the same formula. They've never changed it.
Who's that?
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they're still going today.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Because they respect the fans and keep doing what the fans want. They never changed it.
Man, Simpsons is scary, bro.
Oh, hell yeah. That shit is an anomaly and a half.
I think they was already in the quantum realm. Some of this baby, you know, when everybody showed the memes, I'm like, dude, that's scary. Notre Dame don't got nothing on these dudes.
I know they be predicting stuff and everything.
I'm telling you, that quantum stuff is real.
Well, they're the longest running sitcom ever.
Yeah.
I mean, are they a sitcom?
They kind of is, but
Kind of are.
They blur the line because it's a cartoon, but yeah, it's treated like that.
Man.
You know.
They kind of futurist, man.
All the characters that do the voices to The Simpsons, are they all still alive?
I think they are. Some of them have left.
Well,
The
one of them
show.
got canceled.
What'd
One
you
of them
say?
got canceled, dude. It was funny. One of them got canceled, Hank Azaria. I think he canceled himself.
Wow.
Yeah, he used to do the Indian dude's voice.
Oh,
But he's a white dude.
Oh.
Talented guy, dude. He's a great voiceover actor. That's why they picked him. And that was sad. One of his best roles was he was in this this movie called Dodgeball.
What was the question?
I said, are there still main voice characters still alive for The Simpsons?
I know that the lady, the bar, since she just retired, I think.
Oh, did she?
Yeah, she just retired. She's not coming back.
I know who she is.
Yeah, she's not coming back. She retired.
Well, I mean, in a sense, right? Some of the stuff that they did back in the day. Well, I mean, the cancel stuff's dying anyway. Look what Zink did. Zink put everybody on blast.
Oh my gosh, Zeke! Didn't he list everybody in there? He even got ETC on there, etc.
Like all of IGN.
He couldn't
Greg
squeeze
Miller,
everybody
Colin
on.
Moriarty, he's fucking right. Paul Tassi, Jason Schreier, he's absolutely right. Dustin LeGarry said some stupid shit today too. I had to go at his ass too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he said some fucking stupid shit. What was the point of Microsoft buying with the ABK with Activision if in 2 years they haven't had nothing done? They haven't like, yo, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what are you smoking, my dude? First of all, Microsoft in those 2 years, first of all, it's been only a year and a couple of months since the ABK actually went through and actually finalized. They were able to still bring out Call of Duty with massive success. They were still able to keep up with all their contractual obligations. And on top of that, doing all that, they still brought out new IPs and old existing IPs that are new games. Like Starfield, The Gunk, Hi-Fi Rush, Redfall. Shit, Redfall still managed to sell more than 3 PlayStation games combined that came out for the PlayStation 5 by itself, even though it had so much controversy and so many people was hating on it. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck are you talking about? They fucking, Crossfire X, they were able to bring out. They were able to bring out, Indiana Jones, of Valve, fucking South of Midnight now, a new Doom game. Like, what are you fucking smoking, dude? Like, in 2 years, without being finalized, they still managed to get all that shit done. While Sony hasn't had, and even Nintendo hasn't had no first-party exclusive games in like 2 years. Okay? I think Nintendo did, what was it? The Kirby game and and they just released the fucking what the fuck was the game? They did the remake of one of the Luigi's Mansion, I think it was, and then now they're releasing Xenoblade Chronicles, the remake, I think, or part 2 or something like that. Okay, that's all they've done in 2 fucking years, and then keep on mentioning, oh yeah, we're bringing the Switch to you. We're bringing the Switch to you. I don't give a fuck. Bring the Switch to you. So you can keep playing the three games you keep making, Mario, fucking Zelda, and what the fuck is the other one? Mario, Zelda, and Metroid. Barely Metroid. That shit. Metroid Prime 2 still hasn't been shown, and it's been like 8 years since they fucking mentioned it or announced it. They never made a new Kid Icarus. Splatoon is fucking mid. It's very mid, and fucking they don't make no Princess Peach games no more. And then the Kirby and the Pokemon games that they don't even own Pokemon. They just have the rights to make Pokemon games. They're the only company that can do them. That's it. If they don't own Pokemon, people swear they own Pokemon. They don't. Like, bro, stop. Imagine me a whole generation with just making the same 5 franchise over and over again. And yet people want to talk about Xbox. They don't have no new games. Like, shut up. Like, shut up.
How anybody can say
I
that.
can't even take you seriously.
New IP, we're getting older IP made, brought up to date, like the Tony Hawk games and stuff.
Yep.
I don't know what they
Wanna go
want,
on?
because at that point those people aren't even gamers. I
Yeah.
don't know what they are.
Yeah. I'm with you, Dia. Yep.
What was that part you said, Dave? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
What was that you were saying? I'm sorry. I couldn't hear you over. My daughter was talking.
I said that I don't personally believe that anybody complaining about the output that Xbox is doing is realistic. I think that at that point, I just don't believe that they're gamers, because they're coming out with new games, older game sequels, DLC. They have MMOs. They have all.
Yeah. Like the real people that are
All
actually
stuff.
gaming on Xbox are not complaining. That's a fact.
Nobody's complaining. Xbox guys have been quiet. I haven't
That's a
even
fact.
seen nobody. I mean, they
That's a
barely
fact.
have subjects to talk about because everybody's playing stuff.
That's fact. That's facts.
Yep.
Yeah, it's so quiet that I gotta make content
Yeah,
about-
this is
on my
this
channel.
is Forever's best effort, okay,
Yeah.
to bring up some content. The only person I'm hearing in the news all the time is PlayStation. Like
Yeah.
they've done fired this person, or they've done this, or they're doing this. Honestly, Xbox isn't really doing anything, so a lot of these guys don't have any content to use.
Yeah.
Didn't
That's
PlayStation just let more people go again?
Yeah, they let go of some more people. Yeah, I think it's a studio that helps with the visuals and stuff on their games. What's they called? Visual Arts or something? Or I
Oh,
forget.
Which game there? Which game?
It's not a game. I think it's a studio that helps with the graphics on the other games or something like that.
Okay,
Maybe
for what? For what company though?
Motion Cap. Oh, PlayStation. It's called Visual. Let me see. Let me try to get the article.
Visual Concepts?
It's called
No,
Visual,
it's
I
not
think it's called Visual Arts or something. I don't know.
Mhm.
PlayStation.
Yeah, they had layoffs.
Yeah.
They just showed trailers for new games that are just CGI trailers with no kind of gameplay, no kind of like release date window. They fucking
Okay, I got it here. Let me read it for you guys. It's called Sony's Visual Arts Studio suffers layoffs. This is from Game Rant.
Okay.
Okay.
What games have they done? Is that the ones that did what was it? Until Dawn?
I think they do like it. Let me read it here. Here's the summary of the article. It says Sony has laid off several developers from PlayStation's Visual Arts Group support team. The job cuts also extend to PlayStation Studio Malaysia, a newer support team that was established in 2020. And these support studio layoffs may have ties to the recently canceled live service games from Ben Studio and Bluepoint Games. They said they're speculating on that last one, but that's the studios that they recently, laid off people from.
And the ones from Until Dawn, they closed them down. Nobody said nothing.
Yeah, it was quiet. Nobody will talk. Nobody's talking about this.
Yeah, that's all you've heard is negativity, and then now they're doing the the rent the console service.
Right.
You could
Right.
even rent out the controller for Christ's sake.
Right, you can rent now from Sony, and I don't know what the heck they're doing. Maybe because people can't pay those high costs and stuff.
Do you want me to
Which
tell you why?
which
You want me
which
to-
is
you want me
which
to
is
tell you why?
fine. Which is fine.
Wait, do you guys want me to tell you why?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, I'll tell you why. It's in the areas that they're selling. Right. So all the hoopla they make about them selling all these millions of consoles is in areas where people can't afford the console.
Right.
Why they have to introduce the program. But on the same time, you can't take the hit to give them the console that way, right? That's why they're pulling it back. A lot of these markets that Sony's in, dude, they're not high level markets. And then again, not to get political, but I just threw this out there because it's relevant, right? Once all this tariff war starts, that's going to be another issue.
It'll be worse.
To deal with. It's gonna be
Yeah,
worse.
it will. Yeah.
So you can have all the. This is why Xbox, right, being an American company, right, you can have all these regions that you want, right? Kind of like what China does. China wants all these regions, but the regions, they don't have the market that we have. I think Zig talks about that all the time, right?
Yeah,
America
there's only a
is
few
pretty
markets that actually really matter.
Yeah.
All
I hate
I'm
to
gonna
sound rude in that
all,
way.
all I'm gonna add to that is don't buy any Easy Pass. Don't buy Easy Pass. Don't do it. China just bought that for like the next 11 years or something like that.
Yeah.
All they want to do is get your information. That's all China's trying to do. They're trying to infiltrate through the digital realm, bro. Buy Easy Pass. They can go fuck themselves.
The biggest advantage China has is just their population alone, right?
Mhm.
But when you're looking at other countries, like I like that Xbox and with Microsoft, right, that they're penetrating these Southeast Asian countries. Those are markets there that you have to be involved in. But at the same time, you can't throw all your you can't throw everything in there all at one time. This is why I know a lot of people get upset about that. Like they want Xbox and Microsoft to dive head first. But there's reasons why those regions sit at the level that they are economically, right? So you have to take that stuff into consideration, especially when you're a company like Microsoft, where again I always say this, right, where a decimal point could mean a loss of billions of dollars. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Because at the end of the day, dude, it's like, what's your Zink, man? What do you Zink always says this, man. I'm gonna butcher it, but what's your return? Because Zink always mentions that from the Xbox documentary. Shoot, Zink, if you're there, man, I know you know what I'm talking about.
The what?
Zink needs to be in here.
Like Zink always says that you're something for return. You know when they're trying to make Xbox, when they're trying to pitch it to Steve Ballmer and Bill Gates, something for returns. Zink always says that. I can't remember what it is now.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, because there's an investment that you're gonna have to put into those areas. An investment is something Sony doesn't. Oh,
Shizno said it. Yeah, return on investment is what
The returns on investment. Mm-hmm.
Oh no, Zink says it reserves for return.
Reserves for returns. Okay.
That's what Steve Ballmer asked the crew that was trying to put Xbox together. Seamus Black leader.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So my point being is that investment, I know Microsoft has a lot of money, right? But you just can't throw stuff at the wall sometimes.
Right. They still have to be smart about it. That's what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, you can have all the regions you want, PlayStation. I mean, good luck with that. Because at the end of the day, you still have to invest the money, which we know you guys don't have.
Yeah, they have to keep investing. And people wonder why large corporations keep investing because they have to keep finding new ways to make money. That's just a fact.
Well, that's the reason why they wanted to make something like Game Pass, because they wanted to make sure that they didn't force or they didn't feel like they were forcing people in other countries and regions, right? Like, let's say China, for example, right? Let's just use them as an example. China didn't have any kind of video game console for like 15 years, right? It was always PC. That's why they're so PC-centric and so PC-conditioned. That's why they only play mainly on PC. And you saw all the success that the games like, Wukong had in China, right? On PC. And even It Takes Two did very well in China, for example, right? And that's because, again, when they brought out the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, right, in China, I believe the marginal cost for the Xbox One, it costs like almost damn near $800, right? As opposed to us, and we were paying $500, right? And even that was considered too high. They were paying almost $800. So Phil was saying one time in the interview here, he explained, I forgot where it was that he did the interview. He said that one of the ideas for Game Pass was so that they can reach them, right, on whatever device they had to play their games on their ecosystem, but without having to force them to have to spend so much money to buy a console that was overpriced without their control due to like, customs, import fees and shit like that from, being imported over there because it's not manufactured over there. So, and to avoid them to have to feel forced to buy it at such a high price. And that's what he was saying. That's what he was talking about. That's the whole idea. That's why where the whole Game Pass stemmed from. The whole idea came from, which people seem to forget. That's why it was done, because they wanted to reach more regions without having to push the console out at over-floated or over-inflated prices.
So when you listen to Phil Spencer, right? That's right. You can tell he's passionate about it. And one of the things he always says, right, is that he wishes he wants people to play, right? He wants everybody that makes a game to have an audience, to have the opportunity to have an audience and those kinds of stuff. So that's what I was talking about earlier, Dia. We were talking about this. I wish you would put that same passion into the actual what's going on as far as the narrative, right? Because at the end of the day, it does affect everything that they do. Right?
Yeah.
Like we're just talking about right now with Game Pass, like how people say
It's a lot they have to overcome though, because they're fighting a whole industry that's against them.
Yeah, but at least try. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because
I mean, the whole industry could be against them over and over again, but they're not going to win because Microsoft has too much money. Who's going to come beat them? Who's going to beat them? Sony can't overtake them. Nintendo can't overtake them. Money-wise, that's how they see it. So they don't care. Like the whole industry being against Xbox is the dumbest thing anybody could do. My cart, you said? No, Mama. No. You're welcome. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you go and try to be against the company with the most money? That's just absurd. It makes no sense. It's like
and Xbox is not just throwing money around; they're using it wisely.
Yeah.
The way they spend their money, they're not making purchases like Bungie. They were clever. People don't give Xbox credit on how they're spending their money, how they're using these new acquisitions, how they really getting these people to, like for instance, ever since they got Bethesda and Activision, all that, they've really interconnected all the studios to help one another. So some have more expertise in some areas than others. They really have ramped it up to like get these studios to help each other because they come with such different backgrounds, in what they do. And it's before Xbox alone, because they didn't only had a few studios, they had about 5 or something like that at one point. It was so small, and they each was so different and all that stuff. Like you had Forza, you had Halo, you had Gears. It really wasn't a need for that, and they just didn't have a lot of studios for that, right? But now with all these different studios, a lot of them are crisscrossing stuff. Like even with the Tony Hawk, I hear that Doom guy is going to be in there and stuff like that. It's just these collabs that's happening. And
he was there. He was there in the original.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. A lot of people don't, like I said, I didn't remember.
Even know that.
Yeah, or know or remember. But yeah, he was there in the original. He was there. But that's why but now they can bring it back even easier because they basically own all the studios.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? They could put Marcus if they wanted. They could put Spiral, Crash, because they own it.
Yeah.
They could do whatever they want with it.
Can you imagine skateboarding with Spiral?
Yeah.
That would be fun. Yeah. So yeah.
Well, one of the nicest skateboarding games, believe it or not, that came out was the Disney skateboarding game. Back then, there was a Disney skateboarding game that was made by the team or one of the teams that worked on the Tony Hawk, and that game was awesome.
Oh, cool.
It was a lot of fun. It was really, really awesome.
If Disney can do it, then hey, Xbox can do it with their IP.
Yeah,
You know, if they want to do something like that. And yeah, but but the thing is, I think that what I'm trying to say is that Xbox learned a lot by the acquisitions that they got, not just by how to spend the money, but how to utilize the studios and everything. And we're seeing it in the games. That's what I said earlier, that we can see how these studios are improving, how they're utilizing not just money. It's not just money, but it's the environment and it's the inner workings that they've set up there so that because we know a lot of studios are helping other studios now. So they're never alone. If they run into a problem or they run into an issue, they have another studio with a lot of experience that can help them. Hey, you having problems with Unreal Engine? Okay, let's get the coalition there. Oh, you need help maybe with how to run a gas game or something. Let's get some people from Call of Duty to help you. See, they got that, and that inner work is really working in the background that we don't see every day. And so, I think that all of that is is showing people that when Microsoft do make these acquisitions, when they are thinking about these things, it's not a flat, oh, let's just buy and throw money at it and it's over. No, no, no. They're doing a lot of work behind the scenes. And
That's
it
been
is
part of their business model. They not to cut you off. I'm sorry.
oh, okay, no, that's okay.
For the longest time, right? If you look when they do something, even in the PC space, like when they did, I forgot what it was. Was it Windows 95, Windows 97, where it was like really bad, people hated it, and they completely scrapped it, came back, did Windows 10, 2010 or whatever, and then everybody loved it. They always, when they make a mistake, they try to fix it and they try to do it fast and
Right.
try to do it better every time. They've always done that. That's why when they saw they got the backlash with the DRM, they reverted it. Right when they saw that people weren't too happy with the idea of Connect being unified not being an option, they corrected it. Right, they course corrected it. Or when they try to do the price increase for Xbox Live, and then the people were like, no, they weren't. They didn't do it. They've been doing that for quite a while.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead. Dale, where are you gonna finish? Did we lose Dale?
They're still there.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
here.
sorry.
Sorry
Yeah,
about that.
sorry.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No. Go ahead, Dia. I'm sorry.
You want me to continue?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I was distracted for a second. Yeah. So, what I'm trying to say is that this is, in my opinion, some of the struggles and stuff that I'm seeing from PlayStation is just a lot of mistakes, some compounding, not really having foresight, and what I mean by foresight is foresight in the market. You know. Because of the shift, and the shift was already happening. I told you guys about. I always use this as an example. Is Moon Studios with Xbox? This is when I believe maybe Xbox knew it before then, but I think that was one of those one of those mini driving factors that got them to thinking. Because the Moon Studio said they didn't choose to work with Microsoft again because they wanted their games everywhere, and it was just a better business model for them, right? They needed to get more people, their games in the hands of more people, no matter if it was Ori or anything else, because they want people to know who they are and what their talents are. It's just like the studio Hebot is talking about with the split fiction. Imagine if they were locked to one area and you can only access it that way, but it wasn't everywhere. It would be a shame for that studio to not get, for you not to get access to that game because it's just such a talented studio. So I think they were thinking along the lines like that. So I think that it was little things like that that got Xbox to see, maybe we need to change our business model because we want to keep doing business with, with third party people and or just people that we hire to do our games and everything. But I can understand where they're coming from when we might want to, work with them in their game or publish their game or something like that. That maybe they
So
want
when
the game
Moon
to be out.
Studios,
Hebot, you gotta let her.
What'd you say?
We're losing Second man, what did you say? I'm losing.
With Moon Studios, you heard Dan?
Yeah, I
I'm
thought you
sorry.
were saying something. I was
And
confused.
with they no, what I was trying to say that with Moon Studios and Studio MDHR, right? In that situation, they made an agreement and they wanted to change it after they made the agreement. And that's why Microsoft said we're not no longer going to do third party deals. We're going to flat out buy to own whatever we buy or ever invested. That's why they did that. That's because Moon, they had success, and the deal was that Ori and anything they made, right? Ori related, which is there was a sequel or whatever, and with Cuphead, it was supposed to be lifetime exclusive alongside Ashen. After Microsoft helped them develop it and fund it, then they were like, "Oh, can we put it here? You know what I mean? Can we
Yeah,
do
they
it here?"
they wanted to put their games in other
Right,
places.
and then Microsoft, because they weren't going to hold them hostage. No problem. We'll let you put it somewhere else. No problem. But we will no longer fund your games going forward. And you see, because of that, they've had a hard time bringing out their game because they're self-published now and they haven't been able to find a publisher, right? And the same thing with Cuphead. You haven't heard nothing from a sequel, and you saw how long it took them to finish the DLC because they didn't have the money or the power or the structure to continue going forward as an independent studio. Microsoft helped them with the understanding and agreement that those games will stay exclusive on Xbox. Then they came and told them, "No, can we please do this?" And Microsoft said, "Okay, no problem." But that was the ultimatum: we will not help you fund your next game or publish it. You got to do it on your own. And that's why you see that they haven't really done anything else and have had a hard time. You haven't heard nothing from Studio NDHR. Sometimes you don't bite the hand that feeds you, but that's one of the reasons why you see that Microsoft now is buying the studio. Like, okay, we're gonna buy you if you agree to be bought, because whatever we do, you're not gonna, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're not gonna lose profits and money
It's wise.
after they
Yeah,
help somebody.
it's
Because they
wise.
did the same thing with Respawn Studios with Titanfall, and then when Titanfall became so successful, fucking EA came behind their back, but they weren't buying studios and made a deal and bought Respawn Studios, completely flat out. After they were the ones that helped them bring out that Titanfall game that nobody else wanted to help them do. You get what I'm trying to say, Dan?
Yeah.
So they're like, nah, buddy. That's what Micah said. We will no longer invest on third-party deals. Either we own it flat out or that's it. And that's why you've seen them be so aggressive and that they started to buy stuff and buy these studios. And now whether they bring the games out on PlayStation or not, they get 70% because they're not going to make a profit and not make money out of it. And I completely understand that. That makes 100% business sense. You know what I mean? Hello?
Yep.
That, and I'm sorry, excuse me. That's what I wanted to kind of throw out there with what you said with that, with the team for Ori and shit. But the new game,
I don't doubt what you're saying, but I get hints whenever I listen to Phil also is that they thought about that. And I don't think it's just Moon. I think it's other things too they saw. But
yeah.
and
No, it was those two.
Their decision to put games everywhere to kind of change their business model, I think also came from the developer side. It takes away a lot of the barriers and the concerns and the fears from some of the developers who want to keep placing their games everywhere, or that's just the model that they choose for the games they want to produce, right? And I know in the case of Moon that was different because they were being published by Xbox, but this is why Moon Studio said that they didn't work with Xbox again because they didn't, that business model didn't fit them. They didn't even trash Xbox or nothing. They just said that their business model didn't fit them, and then they said they actually defend Xbox's stance to put their games everywhere because they can understand it because they came to that conclusion before they did, right? So I don't think it was personal in that way. I think you saw early signs that Moon wanted to just have their games in the hands of whoever was interested in it, right? That's what they wanted for their games, right? Whether it was published or not. And I think that's why they understood why Xbox did what they did, because they never said anything negative about Xbox. They just simply defended Xbox's decision because they understood it, right? Because they came to that conclusion. But I think that Xbox didn't want to run away developers that they wanted to work with and that they had a good relationship with. But the only difference that could be that the developer may want their games to be able to go on PC and go everywhere. You know, they just maybe they have a niche game and they're only going to have a smaller pool of people who ever play it. They want the game to get as far out as possible so they can have the best chance of success. It's not always something malicious behind it. It's not like they're like evil trolls coming out of the ground trying to, you know, sabotage something. Sometimes it's just they want to do what's best for their game, right? Or them as a studio, right? And so and I think that there's more studios that think like that. And I also believe that for Xbox, because whether it's Microsoft that pushed them in that direction or not, I think that they felt that this was a better model for them moving forward because it addressed too many issues that they were having, whether it was having a challenge of people wanting to produce on their platform because they're the third place, you know, and they don't have as many people as PlayStation or Nintendo or whatever, or if it's because, you know, so people might be afraid of locking the game on that platform. Whether they're right or wrong is irrelevant. You know, it's the perception, right? And I think that was one of the reasons. Another one is that they saw how well third-party games do. They can make a lot of money, you know. And I think that they was like, you know what? Instead of raising money on our people, let's farm everybody else and then give the best benefits to our own, which is what they're doing, you know. And I think they just reevaluated things. And one thing I would say finally to close out is that as a business, you can't be closed-minded to other ideas. You can't do that. You can't lock yourself into one model and never evolve or grow, because that's when you might stifle yourself and end up failing as a result. And everybody always go to this example like Blockbuster Video when they was not willing to do streaming when Netflix originally came to them, and then look at now who survived that. Netflix did, but Blockbuster didn't. So I think that's the point I wanted to say, is that, you know, I think that Xbox has been growing, evaluating things, really learning, and they're not just taking the knowledge or the money for granted, but that they really have been trying to reinvent themselves for a newer market and to position themselves in the best way possible, I believe.
What do you think will happen if there's only the Xbox console? Let's say
What
like
do you mean?
PlayStation goes bankrupt. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just asking.
That's a real possibility, but honestly, they're successful at being a third-party platform, not that has a store. That's where they're very successful at. Like the people who do buy their consoles, they still buy content off of it, even if it's not their own stuff. You know? So they probably would still do that to make some extra money, you know, because you know, people forget like Apple and Google and all that stuff. They have like Google Play and all this stuff, but they don't produce. They not making anything. Basically, they just sell stuff, you know. And I think that might be PlayStation's model if they fall into something like that. You know, if they end up not producing games anymore because it's not feasible for them, or it just doesn't fit them, they not making enough money to sustain it or something like that. Then yeah, they'll just become a third-party platform that happens to sell games, and they'll basically sell Xbox games and any other third party out there. That's what they would become, I think. So I don't really think they're going to disappear. I think they might transform as to how they operate within the gaming landscape.
Second man, are you there?
Yep, I'm here, brother.
Oh, sorry, brother. I think I lost you earlier.
Nope, I'm here.
You know, I just to let you guys know, dude, my internet is kind of spotty right now.
Yeah, same. Because sometimes I can't, like, people be like in and out and stuff. So I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's my connection. You know what? It's just the afternoon where I'm at. Normally, that's another advantage of doing it earlier in the morning. Not so many people are up. You know, or they're up, but they're doing. You know, I live in Hawaii. Everybody does outside stuff in the morning. That's why you hear like motorcycles and meters and stuff.
Roosters
like
or whatever that is in the background. All that.
The roosters, I think they're on drugs here. They do that all the time.
All the time. I'm like, don't they little throats get tired of doing it?
You gotta blow that up, dude. They don't see it. They do it like 3 in the morning, 2 in the
Like,
morning.
they don't care, man. They
Yeah.
like you gonna stay up forever. Like
Mm.
get no sleep.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank God I grew up listening to loud music because I
oh
it's
man.
numb to me.
That was
But yeah, I just to let you guys know, I gotta wrap it up pretty soon.
okay. That's
Okay.
good. That's
Yeah,
good because
about
I have to
14
stop
minutes.
at 9 anyway. My 9 my time. So
Yeah, so 14 minutes, because I have to go. But
okay.
I didn't want to. Actually, I wouldn't mind going on longer. You know how this podcast goes.
hmm
But yeah, I do gotta get my daughter.
17 hours and we just getting started. You know.
I know. 'Cause I watched the video the last night, the state of whatever or the presidential thing. That thing was 2 hours, and I thought, it's
That
probably
thing
like
was
an
long.
hour.
It was good though because I was like, geez, a lot happened in that thing. It was
there's
some
all
good
kind of junk.
stories though. With that little boy with the brain cancer stuff. You know.
Yeah. Well, what I'm saying there, like, the thing that gets me is like, I mean, it's almost like watching like a show. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that was the strange. What is that? Was the state of play thing? No, not state of play. What I'm thinking, State of the Union.
Yeah. Well, it
It
all it
wasn't
was
a
was
State of the Union. It's something
oh,
like that. It felt like that, but it's what is it called? They I guess he
no, it's
addressed
State
it.
of the Union. That's
Is
usually
it? Oh,
after the
okay.
100 days. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So yeah, it was so different. The only other president that ever went that long was Bill Clinton. He was the only one. He had long, but yeah, that was interesting. Yeah,
You know what's funny is like that's what people remember about because Bill Clinton had a personality as well.
he did. Yeah, good. Yeah, really
Same
like.
thing with Barack Obama. He had a person. They're very personable people.
Yeah.
And that's why people like listening to him.
Mhm.
I mean, I always say our current president he has a personality.
I wake up, I'll be like, "What has Trump done this time?"
Yeah,
Like,
no.
yeah, it's some, he's always getting in something or doing something. I'll be like, "Oh my god!" It's like it's never a dull day. Like I
Yeah.
just,
I wanted to ask Tuck. Um, I was just gonna ask Tuck. I was like, "Hey man, how's your 5 bullets going?" Because we're both in the same boat. Anyway, sorry not to get off track. I don't want to go down that road, but yeah. So the look, I just want to wrap it up. Oh, Sega man, what do you feel
Yeah.
about the console war? I didn't even ask you. I'm so
What I
sorry.
feel about the console war?
Yeah, that's kind of what the podcast was about. Peter Moore came out and was talking about the console war, kind of OG style.
Well,
Yes.
give me real quick,
Okay.
brother Sega Forever. Give me a rerun on that. What was Peter Moore actually saying? I did see something about. I did see his picture or something I was looking at through the internet when I was out earlier doing things. But what was it? What was he saying? Real quick.
So, well, he had an interview. I didn't get to watch the interview. That's so I don't want to. So there's going to be some missing context. I was just
Okay.
basing it on articles that I read, and so what I gathered from what he was saying, or the one portion I'll focus on, is he was saying that it was kind of back in the day it kind of raised the competition, right? It was and it raised all the raised all boats because it was such a when everybody's trying to compete with each other.
Yeah.
Right? And people trash talk. Like when you watch a game, like you
Yeah.
watch a football game and stuff like that, and people trash talk each other. That can also raise people's level of play. So that's what I gathered from what he was trying to say, and it was kind of he had a fondness for it, and that's something that I try and talk about on this channel. Like the stuff that we deal with now isn't really console wars. It's just basically hate, if I'm being honest with you. Because at the end of the day, you'd have these console wars that we were, but we were all gamers. And to be honest with you, me personally, my opinion was I miss those days.
Yeah. Yeah. They real quick. It's Sega Forever, Daya, and he bought. You guys all know back in the day, to be honest with you, way back in the day, the console war thing was kind of fun.
Yeah.
When it was Nintendo going against Sega, it was a fun console warring. It wasn't all this crap like today. Back then, they were plastic boxes then, But we didn't fight like that, like they do today. You know how they do it back and forth on social media. You have a friend and say, "Oh man, the Super Nintendo's whack, man. The Sega Genesis is the more cool system for the teenagers, the the cool dudes and stuff like that, and they would play around. They would say, "Oh, well, the Nintendo's for the kiddies and all that," and they would just play around like that. But then after they did that, they would trade systems. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let you use my Sega Genesis, man. I want to check out what you got over there on that Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, or something like that. But it was all fun and games. Fast forward to this millennium, it's just it's amazing, Brother Sega Forever, to see how these guys out here like Dreamcast Lives, Retrash Gaming, all these guys, Reforge, I call them Retrash Gaming. All these guys are nothing but if you listen to Reforge, right? I don't really watch his channel, but I know I'm watching the dude AGN that's making in front of him and exploiting him and talking about him. He is a real corporate PlayStation slave. He is. The way he's talking and touting so much about PlayStation, I mean, and everything that Xbox is doing that he thinks is doing wrong, but he's not saying what PlayStation is. He definitely is a corporate slave for Sony PlayStation. He really is, man. There's other YouTubers actually calling him out, and he's fighting with. There's other ones he's fighting with, and they got that dude Oh No Silence. So it's like three of them, I think, fighting amongst each other.
Mhm.
It's just really, like Hebot said earlier, it's to get that money, to keep the console war thing going, man. But at the end of the day, Brother Sega Forever, Microsoft is just like Dea said. Microsoft, and I want everybody in the chat to hear this, they're playing chess. You guys don't really realize what's underneath what they're doing. See, some of us know what they're doing. Microsoft they're a business. They're a smart business, and they know how to make money. Microsoft is never going to go under. They're always going to be here. After we're gone, Microsoft will still be here. They're a company. They're a business. And now Satya Nadella is on board with the gaming. He said, "You want to have competition? Let's do competition." You're going to see, I'm telling you, you're going to see a big change in gaming with Microsoft and Xbox. I'm telling you, man, they're playing chess. They know exactly what they're doing. And Sony and all of them are going to have to fall in line. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. Yes, they're getting some games that we have, guys, but at the end of the day, we're getting money back on that. We're getting money back on that to bring more games over to Xbox, more games in the ecosystem, and even possibly get more studios and developers over here on Xbox for Game Pass and different things like that. These guys are not playing around. Microsoft is about making money. It's 30-70%. We get 70, PlayStation gets 30. It's all about money, guys. I'm telling you. They better play nice. Microsoft can destroy Nintendo and PlayStation any time of the day. I'm telling you. If they wanted to be that evil company, those companies would have been gone by now. I know there's people that don't want to hear that. These PlayStation dudes that think they're made of Teflon, you're not. You can get that Microsoft bullet through there. I'm telling you, man. These guys are playing chess, bro. They know exactly what they're doing. That's why Phil Spencer and them are playing nice the way they are. You know how he says, Dea and Sega Forever, we want games to be everywhere. We want games to be played on even other systems and stuff like that. And yeah, it's hard to hear that sometimes, that you see games that are going over that were on Xbox. But at the end of the day, believe me when I tell you this, a lot of those dudes, I'm telling you, they're not going to support certain games that go over. Yes. It's really crazy, real quick, because I know we're going to close it up. It's really crazy to see that Forza Horizon 5 is the #1 pre-order game over there on PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's an Xbox game. No matter what, they can say whatever they want, Brother Sega Forever and Dea. They can say whatever they want. It's a Microsoft Xbox game. PlayStation's Turn 10 Studios is a Microsoft. It's under Microsoft's umbrella. It's a Microsoft game. So our games are doing better on their system. So what do they have to say for that? What do they really have to say for that? Does PlayStation still truly have an identity? I think they're losing identity because our games are actually keeping them alive. It's not their games that are keeping them alive. it's going to start being our games. Call of Duty is under Microsoft. It's keeping them alive. Forza Horizon 5 is under Microsoft, and Phil gave them. It's keeping them alive. Indiana Jones is keeping them alive. It's not their games that's keeping them alive. It's our games that's keeping Sony afloat, man. I'm telling you, they're playing chess. They know what they're doing. You know what I mean? When it comes to gaming, I'm telling you, man. They know. Then just Zink said it. You said it right there, Zink, brother. Zink, Minecraft.
Mhm.
They know what they're doing. Sony don't have a. I'm telling you, Sony don't have a chance. All them dudes that talk all that shit, Daya and Sega Forever, they're not doing nothing but just playing a game. Deep down inside, they know that Sony cannot. They cannot mess with Microsoft. They can't. Nintendo can't either. They have too much money. They do. They have way too much money. They can put them out of business. If they really wanted to, they can put them out of business. And everybody in this chat knows that. Microsoft is a conglomerate. They're a big behemoth. They can't mess with Microsoft. They've never been competition. Apple's competition. Google's competition. Amazon is their competition. It's not Sony and it's not Nintendo. It's the big boys. It's never been them. You know what I mean? And that's what they hate. They hate when you talk like that too. They hate when you talk like that. They want to keep the console war going. But pretty much, brother Sega Forever, I can go on and on about that because I know we got to go. But at the end of the day, Microsoft and Xbox is playing chess. Microsoft is not dead. The new console, the hybrid's already in production. There's going to be a new console, and it's going to be the most powerful console again. It's coming, along with the handheld. So they can have their fun and make in front of Xbox all they want right now, guys. But when that new Xbox comes out, it's going to be the leader again. It's going to be the most powerful console. Sarah Bond even told you it's going to be leaps and bounds beyond the Series X. She already told. People act like she never said that, or it never happened. But she said that real early. Remember, guys? Was it a couple years ago? She said that real early. We are working a new Xbox. It's going to be way more powerful than the Series X. She said that, along with Matt Booty and Phil Spencer sitting there. I remember that.
Yeah, she did.
You know what I mean, Daya? And I don't play power. I play games. I play video games. The Xbox Series X is fine with me. I don't care. If you have a PlayStation Pro, good for you. Play the games. Play your games. You know what I mean? I don't care about that. I play video games. I don't play power. I play video games. Rather they look good or not. It could be an 8-bit game. It could be a 16-bit game, 2D, 3D, whatever. I play video games at the end of the day. I'm like Daya. I have a PC. I have a laptop that I can play my Game Pass on. If I don't feel like playing Daya on my Xbox, I could play right now on my HP, NVIDIA GeForce X Ryzen 5 laptop. It's a gaming laptop. So I can play on my laptop. Right. So it don't matter. I could play PlayStation games on my laptop. So it doesn't matter if I choose to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm both. I'm a console gamer first, right? But if I want to play on my PC, I have that ability to do. It's about choices. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, guys, as far as the console war, I don't know, man. It kind of feels like it's kind of over, or it will be over soon. I don't know, but I know that Microsoft, in my gut, they're playing chess, and they're winning. I'm telling you, man, they're gonna win. They're gonna reach those people out there too. Like, remember how Phil said he wants to reach all them people out there? I believe their goal is becoming true.
All right.
Candy Crush. Let's not forget Candy Crush. I mean, this is a win-win for Microsoft and the gaming division, guys. It really is. I'm not worried about Sony, and I'm not worried about Nintendo. Let them do what they do, Daya. If they're happy with what they got, I'm happy for them, as long as they're gamers. But I'm not worried about Sony or Nintendo doing anything to Microsoft, because at the end of the day, they can't. And that's all I got to say about that, brother. Sega Forever and First Lady of Chat. They cannot do nothing to Microsoft, and they cannot do nothing to Xbox. Xbox is not going anywhere. You always hear them saying, yep, there's not going to be another console. Xbox is dead. Now after this Forza Horizon 5 is coming and we're getting this and getting that from them, they're definitely dead. Why own an Xbox? Why own an Xbox? They keep saying that. They say it all the time because they want the console to go away. It's not going away. There's a new console coming and a handheld.
No, yeah, 100%, dude.
You see what I'm saying? It's just their insecurity. Brother Sega Forever, when they say that Xbox is dead, it's their insecurity. That's what that is. They're insecure about what they're saying, bro. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, good point.
That's all I got to say on that, brother, because I know we got to close out.
Yeah, no, that's a really great point you made. I even add to the insecurity and say ignorance as well.
Yeah, ignorance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so thank you guys again. Sorry to wrap it up. Sorry, comment section, great comments. I read every single one of them. Sorry, couldn't do it out loud.
Man, your chat's on fire, Sega.
Yeah,
They're making some good points out here, man.
Yeah,
Google Poll is on fire.
Yeah,
What's up, Google Poll?
I saw a lot of stuff. It's just too bad we couldn't get to everything.
I know. Google Poll and Zinc and all them are on fire, bro. Man.
yeah, I feel you guys, man, because I know I've been in the same boat. I mean, we've just been playing our games. And I know a lot of you guys like us don't follow a lot of different people out there. I mean, they really don't put out that information. So I appreciate you guys being here, telling us. Like David dropped something about David Cohen. Now, let me read this real fast.
Okay.
David Cohen, welcome, brother.
Hi, David.
I have something to tell. There are people fear-mongering Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3 and 4, all because Activision are removing NPS, non-playable skaters, from Pro Skater 4. To be fair, I got annoyed when an NPC tells me stop wait. Oh, okay. I mean, when they do these kind of things, I think people should expect it or not be surprised.
Yeah.
It's the new normal.
Well, brother Sega Forever and Dad, real quick before we end, why are people when they come in the chat, or period, why are people so worried about what's up, Toolman55? Why are people so worried about, and they've been worried about this for years, and Dea and Sega Forever can contest to this. Why are they so worried about Microsoft putting out the numbers of how many consoles they sold? You ever notice that? Year after year after year after year, they always want to know what numbers of consoles Microsoft and Xbox sold or the numbers. The thing is that you're never going to know that because Microsoft is smart. They're not going to put out the numbers. You're never going to know what has really sold. You can speculate on what has sold, but they're a business. This is what people don't get through their head. They regurgitate stuff and they're like broken records. You're never going to know how many consoles sold. Consoles do not matter. I don't know why you guys keep constantly doing this all the time. Stop the bullshit. It doesn't matter how many consoles you sell. It's about the software. It's not about the console. The consoles that get sold, it takes a loss every console that gets sold, it takes a loss. If you take and buy a new car, when that car leaves the fucking lot, okay, the value of the car goes down. So it doesn't matter how many consoles you sold. It's not about consoles, guys. It's about software. It's not the console. It's the games. It's always been about software. It's not about the console. There's no reason to always tout, well, why doesn't Microsoft put out how many consoles they sold? They don't need to. You don't need to know that. There's no reason for you to know that.
May I inject something real quick because I'm gonna have to leave in a
Yes,
second.
Dea. Yes.
I just want to say that I don't know how Cygnus is deluding himself. He thinks, the consoles aren't selling. First off, they're at the end of their console run. We know that they're about to have a new console. So as far as Xbox sees it, it's natural to diminish from the initial year that you introduce your console. Also, it's not diminishing the game sales. Can't say the same thing about Sony. So like I think they're quite happy because they're selling their games regardless of if the console sell or not. However, you have to also keep in mind that we're at the end of the new console run, and they're already prepping for their next console. So
Yep.
we'll see how things go in the next one, because I'll
Right.
tell you this, that Sony was riding off of the PlayStation 4 success. You know, let's see how how well they do now that these people finally moved over to the 5, and then when this new console come out, and if it's as big as people are stating it's going to be, we're just going to have to see at that point in time. Now, I don't think that consoles will ever be how they were in the heyday, like selling, people wrapping around corners and all that
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
But-
you're right, Dea.
But
Yeah.
with that being said, I don't I think that what Microsoft won't have to worry about is not a COVID period that they're dealing with. They're not slowly dumping games. They're going to be dumping lots of games, and it's never going to cease. So they're going to be in a way different position than when the Series X was introduced. So I just want to say that. And by the way, PlayStation selling all those consoles is not helping them. People do not buy
It's
their
not.
games, and I think that's the most important. Xbox is doing quite well selling all these games and raking in money year over year with games that they just put out once, and these things they just bring out a DLC or something occasionally, or a expansion or something like that, like Starfield. They're making money hand over fist. And this is what PlayStation only wish they had. That's the perspective. This is not bragging. It's facts. This is facts. Everything I've told you is facts. The one that who just laid off people from their own studios, that's PlayStation. You haven't heard a thing about Xbox other than the game.
Yeah, and they won't talk about that either, Dea. They won't say nothing about that, though.
So I'm just saying, I'm putting things in perspective there. Cygnus can try to gaslight himself, and that's okay if that's where you want to be.
Yeah.
But here we like people to have the facts, and that's the facts. Okay, as much as you guys don't want to admit that, you can dance around the grave of the console all you want if that's what you want to do, but it's not stopping Xbox because they sell the games. And to you guys, I might add, let's check and see how Forza Horizon 5 is doing on that
Right.
list over there.
Right.
So that's the reality of it. And I'm just putting it there, so so people are not deceived in the
Well
in the
said,
chat.
Dea. Well said. And Dea's right. But see, that's the thing, Dea. They won't mention that, though. He'll mention console sales and stuff like that. But dude, why is our game that comes to your, comes to PlayStation, why aren't you talking about that? I mean, it's a Microsoft game that's doing and selling, that's going to sell more and is popular right now on PlayStation, and it's not even a PlayStation game.
And PlayStation gamers see the value in it and enough to play these games and buy these games at full price. Let's not forget Sea of Thieves. Then all that's telling me is that there's a market out there. People clearly see the value in Xbox games.
Exactly,
and Xbox has
Dea.
nothing to worry about because they can sell their games any and everywhere.
Exactly, Dea. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. But they'll never say nothing like that. They'll always come up with, well, why doesn't Microsoft sell the numbers of how many consoles they sell? Why are you worried about that?
Doesn't even matter because their business model compensates for that.
Right. You play games, right? You play games on your console. I play games, not companies. Put it that way. You know what I mean? I like playing video games. I own all kind of systems. My number one preferred console is this Microsoft's Xbox. But I tell people all the time that I have a PS4. Okay, I have a PS4, so you can't call me biased. All right, I play games. So, and I just prefer the Xbox ecosystem. It's my favorite. I bleed green. But I have all kind of systems. Sega Forever knows that. Everybody knows that Sega Man has all kind of game systems. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so sick and tired of people always bringing up when we're having fun, or when we're celebrating games and stuff like that that's on Xbox and games that we're playing. They always got to come in here and start talking about console sales.
That's all they have, and honestly, I just leave that up to Microsoft to figure out if that's they see that as one aspect of their ecosystem, not a bad one, not a diminished one, not one that's not important. It's just one aspect of it. So they've expanded beyond that, and I don't know why it's so hard for PlayStation gamers to understand that may not be PlayStation's model, but that is Xbox's model, and it has been their model before they had those issues anyway. It was all the way back to when they first started with Game Pass. Before that, when they started selling on PC, this is what they want to do. All these things that they did in the past culminate to today. nothing they have done has not been without planning years in the past. So that's all I can say.
Dude, you can
And,
keep
and
saying that all you
nobody's
want.
downplaying the consoles. They are what they are, Cygnus.
Yeah,
But the only thing
exactly.
I'm trying to say is that it's not harming their business at all. They're selling games like crazy.
Yep.
And that's what they need to be doing. So it's not harming that part of their business.
Obviously, Dad, it's harming PlayStation's business. He won't bring it up. That's why
It
that's
is
why our
because
games are going over there.
that's because PlayStation rely on that business model, not Xbox. They don't. They learned not to lean on that because of Xbox One.
Right.
They learned how to work around that. That I don't understand why people don't understand that.
Yeah, and I think you're right there. I think these dudes are just gaslighting.
And they
stuff
don't
like
even
that.
need to be selling as much as PlayStation, because that's the thing. Sometimes a company can be smaller, or I don't think they're smaller, but they're bigger. They're biggest publisher in gaming. But what I mean is they don't have to dominate in that one particular market where they dominate everywhere else, because they do. Okay, let's just face it. They do. That's not a single game that PlayStation sells that outsells the games that Xbox. Look at Forza, because I want to use a game that was birthed right out of Xbox, and that game sold what 44 million or something without PlayStation.
Right.
Without that,
Right.
Sea of Thieves has had a high number, but without PlayStation, it's showing you that Xbox knows how to sell games. They know how to create them, and they know how to sell them. So they don't need. The console has not diminished their ability to make games, to sell them, to get them out, to come up with these different models and stuff. They're on their best leg, if you ask me. Despite the console system, nobody's diminishing that, but they don't need that model. They don't need to sell as much. They need to sell up to a certain point, and then they're good. They never have to sell another one, and they're fine. I'm sure it's a set number that Xbox knows they have to at minimum sell. And as long as they hit that number, they're good, and everything else will take care of itself, because everything else is fantastic. So
And I'm gonna tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you what. I don't have a PS5, but I do have a PS4, and I'm gonna tell you what, man. I'm not really trying to be mean, but it's boring. Okay, it really is. I rented some of those games. I tried some of the games that they all talk about there, and they're boring to me. That's just my opinion. They're just very boring. The only reason why I got this thing is for nostalgia reasons, for games that they refuse to come out on Xbox. That's the
And that's
only reason
fine.
why I got it.
It's no shame in that. If you're getting, because even Hebot said the same thing. There's certain games that he want to play, and if it's only available there, he goes there. That's fine. That's what true gamers always did in the past.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with that. I don't care what people game. So as long as we're all gamers, that's how I look at it. It's only one group of people that sit up there like it's almost like they want us to hate Xbox and get mad at them, like they feed off of that like some vampire or something. Like no, we're not going to be upset at Xbox. They're doing what they have to do, and for the people who can't live with that, they've already moved on. Okay, it's over and done with. They've already moved on. But as time goes by, it's showing me that Phil Spencer was correct by the things that he's doing now, because I see where the market is going. I think we all do, right? And
Yeah.
so now it's not so shocking. And now we see Sony, although they're far behind, following behind what Xbox has done. I say they're far behind because Xbox worked really hard on the whole ecosystem, everything, to make everything work the way it does today. So I just want to make that clear, because Cygnus, you have sometimes those talking points. Look, I like you. I don't have anything against you. You know that. But sometimes you say these talking points and they don't make no darn sense. And no, the FTC is not on their neck. Lena Khan is gone. And there's nobody in this administration that's going to stop Microsoft from purchasing anybody if they're placing their games everywhere and they're no longer locking things to their own console.
This administration might force them to buy stuff.
They might say you're doing this country a disservice if you don't buy them. So that's not even a thing. It's not even an issue. So I'm sorry, but I know that's probably the last straws that people are hoping that they don't do an acquisition, but they're not going to squander this administration. They're going to do another acquisition. So I'm just saying they're not going to squander that. If they had plans to do another one. And what did Sadia say? They wasn't done. So
The first thing Sachi's gonna do is secure that nuclear power plant. That's the first
yeah,
thing.
yeah. Because they're also working on the AI stuff and all. They doing a lot. So their minds is in a lot of different places. Yeah, Lena Khan been left that. She's gone. So
Oh yeah, yeah.
so you don't have Lena Khan to lean on anymore, Cygnus. I'm sorry. I know she was like your angel in waiting, but you know, she's not gonna be able to save you from that next acquisition. It's not happening. You
That's
know.
their relief pitcher.
You know. I'm
Okay.
sorry. They just like we have to learn how to get used to some things with the changes, so do they. We're not the only people who have to get used to this stuff, you know. So
I mean, Cygnus, they could buy Take Two.
they could. And who's to stop them? If they putting their games everywhere, who cares?
Yeah.
Sony can't buy Take-Two. Microsoft can.
No, they can't. So who's going to actually fight it?
Right.
And then with an administration like this, you just you know, it's just up to whenever Microsoft wants to do it.
Yep. Microsoft, if they want to, they can buy WB.
They could. They absolutely could. There's nothing too big now because ABK was huge.
Yep.
But there's nothing that's too big. Not even Take-Two. I'm sorry. You know, it's nothing that's too huge for them to get. That's true, Cygnus. I agree with that. I like seeing a peek behind the curtain. I agree.
Yeah, that's good television right there.
Yeah, it was actually.
That was
I
actually
actually enjoyed
smart.
it. Yeah.
They actually got Phil to speak on some stuff.
Yeah, we learned Matt Booty was like the hitman and stuff. Like he wasn't as innocent as we thought he was. Like, whoa, okay.
Where has Sarah Bond been? She hasn't done any newer interviews yet, has she?
Yeah, she don't. I don't think she fussed with that. I think she's working on that hardware. She got two. You talking about the handheld and the console? So I
Yeah.
think she's rather busy.
Yeah.
Well, not just that. I think it's better this way because people are attacking her.
They
Oh, they weren't. Oh,
they
that's
was
why.
even
Oh,
talking
okay.
about she shouldn't have been hired. Like she a
What?
DI hire and all. They were very rude to her.
Wow.
So you know, I don't think Sarah Bond flourish in them type of areas like that. So I just think it's better for her to just stick to what she do. Let her job, like her results, do the talking for her.
Oh, we better not talk. Yeah, we better not talk about it too much. That's Zinc's side piece right there. That's Zinc's side piece, Sarah Bond. You know, that's his side piece, man. We better leave that go.
I mean, I definitely miss seeing her, and I think we'll see her at the big shows.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
see her at the big
yeah.
shows. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She just won't be doing little stuff like Phil is doing. I don't think she's gonna do all of that.
Yeah, Phil, he numb.
Yeah.
He'd be putting up with those ponies. He'd be putting up with Xbox guys like me. I think he's
Yeah. I wish he would get in here. That would be fun.
Zinc said facts, Sega man. Yeah, man.
I always like the way she presents. You know, just such a positive.
She is, yeah.
She
I
gets
think she
excited
fits
about,
Phil.
you know.
And she's been training under Phil, so she knows what she's doing.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't. What do you guys think? I think if Phil was to step down, I think she would be the candidate to take over, man.
She could, absolutely.
I don't know. After all this stuff with the chip and AI, I don't think Phil's going to be able to step down for a little bit. That's-
Yeah, it's a lot changing for Microsoft. That's the thing we have to keep in mind. That whole AI and that new chip that they did,
That chip is a beast.
that changes
That's a
everything. So
beast.
I don't know what's happening with Microsoft, but their minds is all over the place because they're just dealing with a lot of other stuff that
Yeah, man.
goes way above
Yeah.
us, you know, and
Hey,
discovery and invention and stuff like that.
Hey, Cygnus, man, did you see what Trump did? Trump like put tariffs on them. He's going to put tariffs on them, dude. That's messed up.
He put tariffs on who?
He's probably going to put
Japan?
tariffs on Japan.
Oh yeah, because apparently all our trading partners, they slap tariffs on our products so we can't sell our goods in their countries.
Oh, but he going. I was joking because you know where okay, so if you guys don't know, I work federal. So we were in the office the Friday. We was in the office, and then I was at lunch, and I caught some of the news, and the news that they showed was he was in the Oval Office, and he was basically like tariff. And I was like watching this thing, and I was like, bro, who like pissed in your cornflakes, bro? he was just going. I'm like, dude,
He
he's like,
don't care. I think he's upset because these people claim to be our friends and our allies, but then when he's looking behind the scenes, he's seeing what we don't see. and he sees how badly damaged our industries are. And I didn't know like Canada has a tariff on our milk 200%.
Oh yeah, they've always done that.
That's crazy. Like it killing our milk industry because we can't sell to them, but they can dump all their milk over here. So it's things like that that people are not aware of. That's what he's really doing it for. He sees that, he knows when he's talking to Trudeau, that guy is not really our friend. He's raping America. At the same time, we set up a system where it benefited Canada, but we're not getting those same benefits in return. So look, that doesn't extend to the Canadian people, by the way. That when I'm saying that, it's always the government.
But I mean, I'll just say this, right? The problem with everything is they've gotten accustomed to getting their way.
Yes, that's why they're making a hissy fit. Yeah,
it did throw me off with Japan and India. I mean, India is trying to do the BRICS thing.
They trying to replace the dollar, so they hurting us there. And
but
then
Japan did extend an olive branch, and it wasn't like Trump is the tariff's probably the wrong way to do it, but he is concerned about the amount of money.
He is, yeah. And I think we know it hasn't been fair to American companies in Japan. Let's not even pretend here, people. Let's not give Japan again, these companies smile in our face. I mean, I'm sorry, these countries smile in our face, and I'm always talking about the governments here because they're making the decisions. But when it comes down to actually being fair, they're not fair to us. Okay, so this is long overdue. It should have been corrected, like decades ago. Nobody did anything decades ago. So unfortunately, all these things have to change now. Yeah, they doing tit for tat, but who cares? And at the same time, Trump is saying, "Oh, by the way, you don't get any tariffs if you set up, businesses in America."
Cygnus, just to let you know, that's the plan. That's the plan.
That is the plan.
And I'll be honest with you. I know, Dia, you know this because you're in Michigan, right? But
yeah,
I'm just telling you,
yes,
right?
we're actually benefiting. By the way, we're getting some car plants back.
Yeah.
You don't know what that means for my state. Okay.
We should have did this 30 years ago.
Yes.
Number one, we shouldn't have shut down everything the way we did, and then it should have swung back 30 years ago.
Exactly. I can tell you from a person who lives in a state where it was like NAFTA destroyed us. Okay. Yeah. So I'm telling you now that I am not angry about this. If it can get some of our industries back on their feet again, like the steel industry is through the roof, they're happy because it's saving them, because it was never fair to begin with. It was never fair.
Like all the big cities, Chicago, Pennsylvania,
they all benefiting. They're going to benefit, and that all these because he's been he said he couldn't parade all the companies out because there's a lot of them that we haven't seen. I think it's a list out there somewhere, but the big ones he's been showing you with like he'll have them in the Oval Office and tell you what company is and how much they invest in. So there's a lot more though. You're not seeing all of them.
Zing says, Dia, facts. If my cars don't come from Detroit, I don't want it.
There you go, Zing.
I'll even go one further, Zing. The first car company that's going to open a plant here from overseas is Japan. It's from Japan, and that's Honda. Because Honda,
okay.
I can tell you in Hawaii, everybody has Honda. The only second next to Honda is Toyota. Those two cars, and in the U.S., it's so much so that people. I mean, it's one of the most stolen cars, the Honda.
Oh, okay. So Honda
because of the parts, right? Secondary market and parts or something.
Okay.
So they already
here. Ford is a big deal in Michigan. Ford, and well, we got others, but Ford is a huge deal here, and so yeah, like you always see people driving Ford trucks and anything Ford. We have a Ford Expedition, so like it's huge here. You see other cars, but you see a lot of American cars here in this state. So
as it should be.
Yep. And please, people, root for that because our people need these jobs. We need them.
Yep. I can see things will be more expensive next year, like grocery stuff. Cygnus, somebody said that to me, and he was Canadian. He goes, "Oh, just wait till your eggs. You think your eggs?" He's saying about, "Well, we're gonna raise the price on your eggs." I was like, and I told him was that because you won't be able to afford eggs, and I told him, "Bro, I can't even afford eggs now." So,
yeah, it's already done.
First on you. You know what I'm saying? What people don't understand, Cygnus, in the U.S. right now is things are already expensive. You've technically, not you, but the government and all the stuff that the global markets and stuff like that, they've conditioned people to be numb. And I think that's something that the current administration understands. And look, I'll just speak for myself. I mean, I never got a chance. I grew up in the shadow of the industrial greatness of this country, so I never got a
Yeah.
chance to go to Detroit like I've always wanted to.
Yeah.
Because my dad's a big Lions fan. That was a dream.
Oh, that's cool.
Just my grandfather and my dad, they're Lions
All
fans.
right.
I never got to go to Pittsburgh. Sega Man knows I'm a Steelers fan.
yeah.
But in the traditional sense, I never got to see steel mills, dude. I
Right.
missed that.
Right. Yeah.
So I would like, and Detroit, Zinc, dude. I take my brown ass and freeze in Chicago just to see, because those.
you will be freezing, yeah.
But it's just like this. These what these cities were known for that. Detroit and Chicago, and Chicago is still a beautiful city.
Mm.
But I'm saying like these are the metropolitan areas that we need to get them back.
We have to. That's what it destroyed our wealth. It destroyed everything.
Yeah.
And people don't. They're angry at us for fighting back just a little bit of what we lost.
Yeah, we're not even fighting back. We're just saying, okay, well, can you just pay this much? And they're like,
Yeah, it's not even. And so now he got on in April. He said, okay, whatever he said, forget working with everybody individually. He said, whatever tariffs they put on us, we'll put on them. That's the end of the story. I don't want to deal with tariffs forever. So he's just said that's what we're gonna do now.
go. I would smell it all in. I'd be like,
Your Pittsburgh when it was all small.
Yeah, I'd be standing in the middle of it. I go, this is what a man does. I grew up with that mystique of the Steelers, bro. So I never got to experience that. Anyway, guys, it's almost 4:30.
Okay.
I feel the spirit of Unlimited Productions.
Yep, let's do it, guys. We're
We're
doing
spreading
it this
the-
time for real, you guys in the chat. Okay.
So what I
was-
did was I said 4:00 we're gonna end it.
Yeah.
But
I
I
just
gave
had to
myself
address that
4:30.
though. I'm sorry, I apologize. That was
that's fine.
I
No,
just
that's
had
why I
to say
said
that.
4. That's why I said 4 because Unlimited told me that. He goes, you say 4, but it's like 4:30. So technically, it's
Yes. Yep. Okay, well I'll start off.
Yes.
I'm Dia4568, First Lady of Chat. You can usually and First Lady of Xbox as they call me.
Yes.
Look at Zeke. No 24-hour show this time, Zeke.
That's right. Today. Sorry.
And you usually can find me in Sega Forever's podcast when he does it. Sometimes Sega Man, if I can catch him. I've been very busy lately, so I
Yep.
haven't been like keeping up with everything. And also Unlimited Production. You can also find me when he does his. He's very busy, so he hasn't been doing his podcast. So you guys haven't seen us, but we have been around. And thank you for Sega Forever for keeping your podcast up because we can actually stay connected to the chat and everyone, and even Zinc because he doesn't show up as much anymore. But but that's where you can find me.
Yeah, thanks, dear. Sega Man, go ahead.
Again, it was good to come together with Brother Sega Forever and the Wrecking Crew podcast with First Lady of Chat, Dia4568, and our brother Hebot, the most powerful gamer that's been out here in these gaming streets for so long, man. And Zinc and the crew out there. Shouts out to the chat. Zinc is always holding the chat down, man. Great Google poll. Good to see you. Did you see what he said earlier, Dan? Zinc said, "Oh, you don't want to play Gears with us."
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry, Zinc made me laugh.
Zinc always getting you, Dan.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Zinc always getting you, man. Yeah, but it was a great show, Brother Sega Forever, man. I appreciate you, and thanks a lot for inviting me, man. But hey, I'm glad. I'm happy over here, man. I'm having fun. I can't wait for these newer games that are going to be coming out to Game Pass.
You ain't
A
lying.
lot more. There's a lot of games coming.
I don't know if I can get. I'm gonna try to play. I don't want to get distracted. We'll just get it. I'll get us distracted. So we'll.
You
talk
got
about
you
that
got
later.
you got DLC coming for Indiana Jones too.
Yeah, that's true.
There's a lot
true.
coming out, man. We got a lot of games to play over here, bro. I'm very happy with what we got, man. We're eating good over here, bro. I mean I'm very happy with what Xbox is doing, man. When it comes to the games and stuff, man, there's just so much that we got coming over here, man. It's hard to catch up. My backlog is huge backlog, man. I have so many games to play. You got these games coming out. You stop playing the one, you go to another one. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is. Dude.
Keep supporting, brother. Keep supporting, man. We'll keep getting these games, bro. Hey, that's what you guys get for saying Xbox got no games. That's what you get. Shouldn't have been saying that for years and years and years, man.
Well, they said the train was coming and it's arrived. So that's for sure.
Yep.
All right, guys. So, chat. I shout out to everybody in the chat. Sorry, I can't go through all the names, but I appreciate every one of you guys being here. Much appreciated. Sorry we couldn't get to every comment. I'll try to do an all-in chat next time, so that you guys can get your comments in. And yeah, so Xbox All In channel, host Sega Forever. We out.
Peace.
Bye.